greatest country in the world, and it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for, and if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right. What is going on, America? Today is a dark day in our history as Americans. Today is a day that, yesterday we talked about the fact that this could happen, and a lot of people were in disbelief that it could happen. In fact, I was shocked at how many people in polls yesterday said they'll never do this. They'll never convict Donald Trump. It'll never happen. I told you. We all told you. We told you it was going to happen. We told you that this would happen. And so here's my hope for today. We're going to discuss everything. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to stay live for 3 hours today, however long it takes. We're going to be streaming live Trump's press conference at 11 a.m. But we have to talk about how we got here. And my hope is this, that it's finally bad enough that all of you, all the people that have waited so long thinking that, oh, this is all just going to go away and this is never going to be a big deal. Are your eyes open yet? Are you awake yet? Do you finally see that it is as bad as we've been telling you that it would be, that it is as corrupt as we've been telling you that it would be, that it is as evil as we've been telling you that it was? This is not a political battle. This is a spiritual battle. And ladies and gentlemen, this is no longer lawfare. This is now warfare. What happened yesterday was the death to America as we know it. And I don't know what happens next. I don't know even if and or when President Trump wins the White House back. I don't know if what he's able to put back together will ever be the same thing. The other day on the show, we talked about if you break a glass or you break a pot, and no matter how much you try to put it back together, it's never exactly the same ever again. That's where we are here in this country. And I hope that you are taking this seriously. I hope that you are taking this as serious as it needs to be. We are broadcasting everywhere for the first time ever. We are live on every platform ever. And we need every single one of you to hit the like button. We need every single one of you to hit the follow button. We need every single one of you to comment, because the more you do that, the more people see the truth and they hear the truth. Because, ladies and gentlemen, people are still not listening. And this is a long open of a monologue, but you need to hear this. Last night, I went to dinner. Guess what? No one was talking about it. This morning, stopped at a gas station, went to the gym. Guess what? No one was talking about it. Yesterday, America as we know it died. And today, no one is talking about it. And it is our obligation as Americans, as Christians, where do we go from here? And we're going to talk about all of these things, but we need your help. We need you to hit that like button. Every single person, every single one of you, you need to hit that like button. You need to share this far and wide, because we're everywhere right now. You need to share this far and wide, and you need to comment. God bless you guys for being here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, and gentlemen, of course, Hot Seat Todd is also in the building. And of course, I am your host, Graham Allen. There's the music. There we go. All right. What an anticlimactic part for my part.
Yeah, that really.
It always goes that way, though.
It always goes that way. All right. So again, this is going to be more of an actual live stream than a produced show today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, but we got a lot of time to cover, and you guys hopefully are going to be hanging out with us for a long time today. So we need you, again, hit that like button, hit that share button, and comment. Super questions, super chats, whatever they were called across all platforms. If you have questions that you want to ask us specifically, that you want us to answer, if you want to support the show and what we do, it is not obligated, but it is very much appreciated. Today is the day. I was talking to Laura Trump last night. Hopefully we can shed some insight for you guys. Get your questions in. We will answer every single one of them across the board. Before we get into it, though, today, guys, we got to get into our sponsor. So here we go. All right. I have partnered with Pain Safari to give you a fully customized Chevy Silverado Trail Boss Z71. But first, let me tell you about the Shockwave torch. America's not as safe as it once was. No kidding. And it's getting crazier by the day with open borders and ridiculous policies that let criminals walk away scot-free after committing crimes, which is why I always have a way to defend myself, and you should too. Now, guns are obvious, but solutions for taking out bad guys, but not everyone can or wants one. That's where this incredible flashlight comes into play. It's called the Shockwave by Pain Safari, and this innocent looking super bright light is anything but harmless. It's so powerful. It has a built-in safety feature, and it only charges when plugged into the wall. But press this button and it discharges a brutal stun gun that will turn a 350-pound man into a crying baby. That's right, a crying baby. There is a must-have for anyone, for moms, dads, daughters, you name it. It's the simplest thing you could do ever to protect your family. All you have to do to enter to win this customized truck is simply click the link in the description. That's it. Click the link in the description, and your loved ones with a Shockwave torch and Pain Safari is hooking you up with a major discount of up to 80% off. The giveaway ends June 3rd, which is Monday. So go to painsafari.com/Graham Allen right now. That's painsafari.com/Graham Allen. All right. Let's get into the show, guys. Tony, Todd, first of all, Todd.
Yo.
How are you this morning? What are your thoughts?
You know what? My biggest frustration about this whole thing is looking at all the social media and stuff and liberals saying that we're whining about Trump, that this, look, listen, for me personally, I love Donald Trump, and I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. This ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump. All right, nothing. This has got that Biden and this administration has now set a precedence that, well, if we can't win the right way, we'll do it this way. And there's no coming back from this. Like, there is no. That is what I was the most frustrated about as a retiree, as an American, is that the country that me and you fought for, Graham, the country that some of our friends died for, is gone. That's my frustration.
All right, Tony, how are you, man?
Dude, I'm very, I'm still in shock, honestly. But more than anything, like I was sharing with the live chat, it's very almost scary the way that they were able to just change the law to be able to prosecute him. I mean, we are supposed to be considered innocent to proven guilty, and they totally just railroaded him. And this is Donald Trump we're talking about, you know, who's got not endless amount of money, but obviously he has more money than we do. And he couldn't even fight these charges. It's just, it's super scary that we live in a country now that any judge at any point can just rewrite the law to make it a prosecuting crime. So yeah, I'm still shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all are. We had the conversations of should we go live yesterday, and the truth was we really thought about it. We really talked about it, but I think we all needed a moment to kind of think about what we even wanted to say, because yesterday I was mad. Like many of you, I would imagine you were angry. Like many of you, I would imagine you felt despair, helplessness, rage, bitterness across the board. And I think we're all kind of dealing with that right now. Where does America go from here? Where does it go from this point moving forward? And what we're going to do today is, yes, we are going to cover live Trump's press conference at 11 a.m. And we're going to walk you through everything that happened yesterday and what led to it and the reactions. But we also want to hear from you. What are you guys feeling? Send us a super question or a super chat or whatever it's called. Share this far and wide across the board. Blow the chat up. Here we go right now. I want every single one of you to comment in the live chat across the board if you are voting for Donald Trump in 2024, whether he's a convicted felon, whether he's in an orange jumpsuit. If you're voting for Trump in 2024, I want you to comment Trump in the comment section, and I want you to blow this thing up out of the frame. I want to see the chats going crazy. If you're voting for Donald Trump in 2024, comment Trump in the comment section and blow this up. The president watches this show. The team watches this show. There you go. Blow the chat up. I see it. Insanity, insanity, insanity. Go, 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 go. The president watches this show. The Trump family watches this show. Let them know where you stand. Pop it up on the screen. Everybody doing it. There you go. Blow it up. Go, 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 go. I think that this is our opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is our opportunity to not only band together on something for the love of everything. Can we agree on one thing in this country? Is this an opportunity for the left and the right to agree on one thing? That what just went down yesterday was a slap in the face to us as Americans. It was the death of America as we know it. It was the death of the judicial system as we know it. Justice is blind. Ha! Whatever. Not anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we need to show the world. And I see the chats blowing up from Rumble to Twitter to Instagram. I mean, this is insanity what's going on, and I love it. But we got some things to talk about here. We got some stuff to discuss. Here we go. All right. Let's go to the first thing here. Okay, so first, as we said, Donald Trump tweeted out that he will be having a press conference. This was yesterday. Today at 11 a.m. from Trump Tower. We will be here live, and we invite you to watch that with us. We're not only going to be here for the entirety of this show, we're going to be here through that and give reactions, and we're going to watch all that stuff together as the Dear America family across the board. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. All right, so this was the clip that sent shimmers down the spines of all Americans, I feel like. This was the clip where we found out that the verdict was, in fact, guilty. Can we go to that, Mr. Producer?
Those are the first 28 felony counts here as read by the jury. Count 29, guilty. Count 30, guilty. Count 31, guilty. Count 32, guilty. Count 33 and 34, guilty. That is Donald J. Trump, defendant in New York versus Donald Trump, found guilty on all 34 felony counts. Those are
All right, that was a super low quality thing to hear, but important nonetheless. So here's the other thing that I found interesting was there were so many people that had us believe that there was actually a shot, and I didn't believe that. Remember, I said I told everybody, and I did a bunch of polls and everything, and so many people believed that they were going to be a hung jury and or they were just going to find him not guilty at all.
Yeah, I think you said 50-50 shot at best.
At best.
Maybe, at best.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. Exact quotes. That's why Tony's here.
I do listen.
Photographic memory across the board.
I do listen no matter what my wife says. I do listen.
But I also said, in what we have a private chat that we talk about on this show, everything that we're going to talk. And when I saw that the jury was asking for the judge's instructions again, which was the most insane. And when we've consulted lawyers, we've had Laura Trump on the show yesterday. Like, we've talked to everybody. I was talking to the sheriff of our county and everything yesterday. Have you ever heard of a jury that did not have to agree for a unanimous guilty verdict to happen? You know how many people said, "Oh yeah, I've heard of it before." Negative one person.
Yeah.
Negative one person has ever said that. These people could have gone, as it was talked about, 4, 4, and 4, and they would have found him unanimously guilty. But The biggest thing was actually believing the lie that there was ever actually a chance that it was going to be
Yeah.
anything else.
And that's
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go
And
ahead.
I just to your point, because I'm seeing a lot of it in the comment section right now that it was unanimous. It was unanimous. Don't you? I mean, Tony Graham.
That's what I'm getting at.
Ain't
Like
this a-
we
this
believe
is
the
a-
lie that it might even have
Yeah.
a chance.
Well, even so, is this not a product of geography? Like if
Yes.
Trump would have been, the trial would have been in Texas or Florida. Mm-hmm. So you can take that unanimous and go kick rocks.
Well,
Like,
but again, and we'll get into this later in the show, that there's going to be some of you that are commenting, they'll just appeal it and all that, blah, 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 but you're fear-mongering. Shut your mouth. Listen, they have to appeal it in New York. What do you think the chances are he's going to win any kind of appeal? Oh, well, there's no way that an appeals court will allow something this egregious to stand. How did we get here in the first place? This shouldn't have happened in the first place. There is, ladies and gentlemen, I know this is our first time broadcasting live everywhere, and some of you are just now seeing this show live for the first time today. So welcome to the show. Let me explain something to you. We have been saying it for forever. That this only ends with Donald Trump behind bars. Now, will he be there for a lot? No, but this only ends with Donald Trump going behind bars. The end. The fact that they're waiting to do the sentencing until 4 days before the GOP convention is not by coinkydink. That's not how that works. No, they're going to put him behind bars for 4 days to where he cannot even attend the GOP convention. Watch what I tell you. And then I wouldn't even be shocked if they don't confine him to house arrest at Mar-a-Lago. Oh, I'm crazy? Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll all just meet at Mar-a-Lago. We'll get out the white paint and we'll paint it white.
Well, that's
Call it a day.
that's what that's what they say now. You know, we're the crazy ones, right?
Mm.
We're the crazy people across the board telling you the truth. You know, we're the crazy ones. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. All right, let's move on. Okay, here is fat Uncle Phil. But I mean, it is. This is like the multiverse evil Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is Alvin Bragg celebrating his victory over Donald Trump. Let's listen to what the Antichrist has to say. Let's just go there.
First and foremost, I want to thank the jury for its service. Jurors perform a fundamental civic duty. Their service is literally the cornerstone of our judicial system. We should all be thankful for the careful attention that this jury paid to the evidence and the law and their time and commitment over these past several weeks. 12 everyday New Yorkers, and of course, our alternates, heard testimony from 22 witnesses, including former and current employees of the defendant, media executives, book publishers, custodians of records, and others. They reviewed call logs, text messages, and emails. They heard recordings. They saw checks and invoices, bank statements, and calendar
You
appointments.
see what somebody said on YouTube? True justice finally prevailed
This
in
type
America.
of
Dear
white-collar
Lord.
prosecution is core to what we do at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. In the 1930s, District Attorney Thomas Dewey ushered in
Pause. Can
era of the
I go to
modern,
that comment for a minute?
independent-
True justice finally prevailed in America. So true justice is, and I love the troll comments. I love it when we pull the troll comments up. I really do. True justice, according to this communist here, because that's what that is. True justice is when we manipulate the legal systems. Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime. Right? Isn't that like communism to the T? That's justice to you. Well, what about when you fall into a situation like what if? Like, see, here's the thing. If they can, I really, ladies and gentlemen, I really don't think that enough people are realizing this. If they can do this to Donald Trump, what in the world do you think that they can do to you? Like that is the point here. Like, and that's why everybody's saying that the America you knew, and of course, you know, this is a comment coming from YouTube. The America you knew is gone. And so many people like are having attitudes like that. Do you not realize that if this can be done to arguably the most known person in the world, Donald Trump? I mean, it's Taylor Swift, Donald Trump. I don't know which one's more popular or most known, I would say. Maybe popular is the wrong word, but the most known figure in the world right now, Taylor Swift, Donald Trump, take your pick. If they can do this to Donald Trump, none of us have a chance. Like none. No chance whatsoever.
No, especially as powerful as Trump is. I mean, they could take somebody like Donald Trump down. Obviously, you know, they can take down Joe Schmo next door. So, yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason why big businesses and real estate mongols are leaving blue areas and moving. I mean, there's a reason. Because they'll be coming after them next.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep going here. So I think Jesse Waters is next. Oh, no, never mind. Let's finish what, you know, Fat Albert has to say. Let's
And then professional prosecutor. For now nearly 90 years, dedicated professionals in this office have built upon that fine tradition. A major part of our practice during that nearly 90 years has been public integrity work, including cases involving jurists, local and state electeds, public servants, and others. I want to thank this phenomenal prosecution team, embodying the finest traditions of this office: professionalism, integrity, dedication, and service. They are model public servants, and I am proud and humbled to serve side by side with them. The 12 everyday jurors vowed
traitors
to make a decision based on the evidence
traitors
and the law, and the evidence and the law alone.
traitors.
Their deliberations led them to a unanimous conclusion beyond a reasonable
Pause.
doubt.
Pause. Can we do a poll in the chat really quick? Comment in the chat now if you believe that these jurors were traitors to the justice system, that they 100% were manipulated by bias towards Donald Trump, that they were not unbiased in their decisions. If you truly believe that they were traitors to our country and our justice system, comment yes or no in the chat. I want the chat to blow up. I want to know what you think. Comment yes if you believe they're traitors. Comment no if you think that that they're heroes. They might as well be Batman at this point. I mean, like saving the world one corrupted vote at a time. Just look at the comments. Just boom, 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 boom. I mean, it's off the charts stuff right here. Look at it. Insane to believe, to hear this corrupt, overweight man say that. I don't even have words. I see you, Rumble chat. I see the Instagram chat. I see all of it. I see everything. I got so much going on here. It's crazy. Facebook, YouTube, everybody. Look, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that share button, and then keep commenting in here, because this is where we're at. All right. Get off this dude. I can't look at him anymore.
Well, wasn't there one juror that excused themselves because they felt like, as a Trump supporter, they couldn't be non-biased?
Well, even if that were true, I don't know. But even if that were true, at this point, who cares?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Stay in the game. Stay in the game.
Be biased.
Yes,
be biased in the
game.
justice system, because apparently,
Yes.
and here's another thing. And if we're just being honest for one moment, and comment in the chat and let me know what you think, if you agree with this statement. Are we even capable of being non-biased anymore as a jury? I mean, I'm just being honest. Like Like anybody that is a public figure with social media the way it is today, comment below and let me know what you think. Is it even possible anymore for us to be unbiased towards anything? I don't believe so. I mean, especially with Donald Trump. Where are you going to go to find somebody who don't have an opinion about Donald Trump? Riddle me that. I'm serious. Like, let me know. Am I crazy? I don't feel like I'm crazy. I feel like it's a very relevant question to ask. I feel like it's a real thing to ask. Where can you go that things can be non-biased? Where I say, where can you go? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible anymore in America for something like that to happen. And look, I see the comments all over the place. No, not possible. No. America was already on the edge of belief in the justice system. And then what happened yesterday happened. All right, let's get into Jesse Waters. I believe we got a Jesse Waters next on this thing here. Oh no, is this Hillary Clinton? Oh, never mind.
Oh, great.
The she devil herself. Hillary Clinton had a little short little jab to throw in there. Let's listen to.
Of course she did.
Let's listen to this villain, the Joker's
thief.
mother. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anything going on today?
Pause.
They're so happy.
That
They're
is
so
a
proud.
all-female Chelsea Handler clones. Every woman in there has a problem with Harrison Butker. Every single one of those women in the audience there. That is all 30 women that showed up that are probably single, have a lot of cats, and hate men. That's who was in that audience right there. Crazy stuff. Let's get to Jesse Waters, Mr. Producer. Let's get to something. Break it down for us, Jesse, on what we're looking at here. Let's go.
Trump was found guilty because he beat Hillary and is about to beat Joe Biden. I thought I'd be angry, but I feel this cool resignation, this resoluteness that we're wounded as a country and we're not going to go down, that we're going to get back up, we're going to regain our strength, and then we're going to vanquish the evil forces that are destroying this republic. Trump was found guilty because...
Here. Vanquish the evil forces. And so that's a good question and a good comment for the viewers as well. Guys, I'm curious your thoughts. I am at the point now where I truly believe that this is not a political battle anymore, that this is a spiritual battle that we are fighting. And I'm curious, comment in the comment section, is this a spiritual battle or a political battle? Or is it a spiritual battle under the veil that it is a political battle, that they're hiding the fact that this is a spiritual battle taking place right now? Comment below and let me know what you think in that regard. Todd, what are your thoughts?
I think we're just seeing the beginnings of this. I mean, as frustrated as I know a lot of us are that are watching right now. I made a comment yesterday that y'all know how I feel about the flag. I will never fly it upside down, but I'm at that point. But are we not in the beginning stages of what has already been promised? That's my fear, is now that this has come down, now that this battle is being waged, all I have to lean on to is God's in control, and it's His plan. I might not like it, but it's His, and we'll just see what He's got in store for us.
Tony, what do you think, man?
Thinking about this yesterday and just seeing a lot of the comments online from the left and how happy they were, and all the stupid little comments of, the cheers and the little emojis of 34 whatnot or whatever they were putting on there. It just makes me think that it is good versus evil, which goes back to the spiritual comment or the spiritual thing that we're talking about here. I think it's a little of both. I think the political side obviously was trying to prosecute Trump, and I think they brainwashed a lot of the people on the left, and the evil is just coming out of their pores. I mean, it's just it is very scary, and it makes me think that humanity has lost a piece of Christianity,
Yeah.
where we can take people's livelihood and just destroy it just because they don't like them. And it is very scary. And I hope these people can see themselves in the mirror and just find God. And
Wow.
and
Good comment, Tony. Good comment. Find
Attaboy.
God. Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what needs to happen. America ain't coming back. Jesus is. Right now, we're entering in a dark day in America, but God is still king, and we win in the end, and we know that to be true. All right, I believe up next we've got Trump's remarks coming in after the guilty verdict, and so let's watch that in its entirety, and let's react to that in real time. Look at him, man.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. But the real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win. Because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions.
Can we just stop for 1 second? After what just happened to Donald Trump, he comes out there and what he's talking about is America. I think sometimes it's lost on that. Like if I had just got convicted on 34 counts in the most ridiculous thing, I'd be flipping. I'd punch that Secret Service guy in the face just out of principle, because I'd be so mad. But Donald Trump comes out there and he is irritated, especially this freeze frame we've got on him right now. He is distraught. But his first instinct is to go back to America. Again, we're going to keep playing this, but if you support President Trump, we need every one of you to hit that like button. We need every one of you to comment in the comment section right now. Trump 2024. Blow it up. The Trump team watches this show. They see your comments across the board. We're live everywhere right now. Comment, blow the chat up. Trump 2024 if you're voting for Donald Trump. No matter what, I want to see the chat blow up. Absolutely, just go nuclear with it. Let's finish this out here.
Graham, a quick comment before you do.
On.
When I was watching this, I did see him come out, and he did look distraught. But after listening to him for a bit, he was presidential. He was very calm. He was, saying the right comments and just being, trying to keep everything in perspective. And you have to respect the man. As you just said, he was just found guilty of 34 counts, and yet he comes out and the first instinct is to address the nation.
Yeah, address the nation. I agree. But he says something in here that is very powerful. I see Trump 2024. Keep them rolling, guys. Keep them rolling. Keep them rolling. Keep them rolling. You're not done yet. Trump 2024. If you're voting for President Trump, hit the play button. Let's hear what else he has to say.
It's terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out? You believe in the rule of law?
Are you going to drop out?
The real verdict comes November 5th. The real verdict comes November 5th. Remember the 5th of November. Comment it. Remember. Comment, remember in the chat. Remember the 5th of November. It is so eerie to me. Those of you who know the movie V for Vendetta, it is so eerie to me. Like, that is a heck of a coincidence, guys. I mean, it just is. Like that movie, what's going on now across the board, and now the election for our country is actually on the 5th of November. Remember the 5th of November. It's crazy to me, that stuff. All right, Mr. Producer, what's up next? Let's go. I lost my place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk to you about our friends at Birch Gold. As you can imagine, the world is a crazy, hectic place. Okay. Gas is going up. Inflation is absolutely insane. Vladimir Putin confirmed to Tucker Carlson that the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, Iran, China, Saudi Arabia, all these people are purposefully trying to tank the U.S. dollar. And we even played you a clip that there is an October surprise allegedly coming where they are officially going to denounce the U.S. dollar as the superpower here in America. Ladies and gentlemen, it is only going to get worse. So I'm begging you, please, you can do it while watching this show. Just text the word Graham. That's Graham to the number 989898 right now. My friends at Birch Gold are going to give you a call, and they're going to talk to you about how gold, silver, and precious metals can protect your money. They're going to send you a free 25-page information kit. And maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But free information is vital information. So please text the word Graham to 989898 right now. All right, let's keep moving, Mr. Producer. What we got next? I've lost my place. So, Mr. Producer, it's you. Just take me where we're going. Take me on a journey, Mr. Producer. Take me through these emotions that we're all feeling. All right, let's see. This is a U.S. Marine veteran. Not a white guy, by the way. So before everybody's like, Trump supporters just white people, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, all right. So let's watch this.
What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you make of this? Dwight Silva out of Chicago. I happen to be here for work. And I'll just tell you, this is an absolute disgrace. I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. And one of the things that we really appreciate about America is that we have a fair and justice system. I mean, you come to see something like this where people don't even understand the gravity of what they're doing.
What do you say his name was? Silva?
It's a sad, you feel a lot of sadness around here because people are disappointed and they can't trust the justice system. That's why people come to America, for that cornerstone of freedom.
Can we play his words one more time? I mean, like you hear it in his voice. You hear it in his voice. Like this is not, and Todd said it earlier as well. This is not what we fought for. This is not why so many men and women put the uniform on. This is not what it was supposed to be about. Play it one more time because I think that's very good.
What's your name? Where are you from? And what do you make of this? Dwight Silva out of Chicago. I happen to be here for work. And I'll just tell you, this is an absolute disgrace. I served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps. And one of the things that we really appreciate about America is that we have a fair and justice system. I mean, you come to see something like this where people don't even understand the gravity of what they're doing. It's a sad, you feel a lot of sadness around here because people are disappointed and they can't trust the justice system. That's why people come to America, for that cornerstone of freedom.
What's your name? Where you from? The cornerstone of freedom.
Well, it used to be.
If you believe America is still the cornerstone of freedom, comment in the chat right now and let us know your thoughts. That to me, it's just, dude, it was like a dagger, man. The cornerstone of freedom, the shining light to the rest of the world, America. And then what happened yesterday happened. Are we? Are we still the greatest? Are we still the cornerstone of America? I mean, comment in the chat. Let me know what you think. I find myself just kind of taken back today. I mean, again, I don't know how else to say it. Somebody said on YouTube, I see the comment, after yesterday, the cornerstone is cracked. I think that's a very powerful statement. I think that's a very powerful way to put it. Let me see if I can make it pop up on here. Show it. There we go. Yeah. So after yesterday, this is from Anna Young on YouTube. After yesterday, the cornerstone is cracked. I agree. I think it's pretty sad where we find ourselves today. All right, Mr. Producer, what's next? Take us through it. All right, so this shows you
that's bad.
Even
That's bad.
everybody knows this is
That's
complete and total ridiculousness. The New York Post, who is not what you would deem Trump friendly or Christian friendly or conservative friendly or just sanity friendly in general. The New York Post, injustice. New York City jury makes Donald Trump first felon president after a political hit job.
Wow.
If you believe that this was a political hit job, blow the chat up with yes or no. I want to know where you stand. Every single one of you need to be commenting right now. Do you believe this was a political hit job? Yes or no? Very simple question. You cannot stand idly by. You got to pick a side now. The end. All right. Donald Trump convicted on 34 felony counts for falsifying business records in historic Manhattan hush money case. Let's read what the New York Post has to say about these things. All right. Donald Trump became the first former U.S. president to be convicted of felony criminal charges Thursday. The real estate mogul, former commander-in-chief, and presumptive Republican 2024 presidential nominee. What is... Somebody's playing something. Do you guys hear that? Anybody? Anybody at all?
I bet you it's an ad in that.
Oh, yeah. I bet you it is an ad somewhere in this article. Anyway, that's weird. Where is that coming from? Mr. Producer, do we know where that's coming from? Is there another ad playing in this? Or you've got a lot of apps opened up. Is there something playing in there? Okay, it's done now. All right, either way. All right, the real estate mogul. All right, the bombshell verdict was read in Manhattan Supreme Court just after 5 p.m. following a nearly 12 hours of deliberation. Only 12 hours is not very long. All right, let's go down a little bit here. Let's see. Guilty, the jury foreman said clearly on the first count before repeating the word 33 more times. If again, like there was ever any doubt that was going to take place is beyond me. All right, let's see. Did they give us any other insight here? Keep going. No. Oh, there we go. All right. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Trump said we're a nation in decline. Absolutely true. Quote, the rule of law applies to everyone. This is AOC saying, gloated at a town hall in the Bronx. Donald Trump was convicted by a jury of his peers. Was he convicted by a jury of his peers? I'm not so sure that is the case. I think he was convicted by a jury of communists. That's what I think. Political hit job. Absolutely 100%. There is no way. If you think AOC has the intelligence to have a comment about this in the first place, comment yes or no in the chat. Todd, read us a little bit more of this, please.
All right, where'd you leave off?
AOC's comment.
Highlight it. Okay, the rule of law applies to everyone, says the bartender, gloating at a town hall in the Bronx. Donald Trump was convicted by a jury of his peers. Republicans, such as House GOP Conference Chairwoman Elise Stefanik of New York, blasted the decision as showing how corrupt and rigged the American justice system has become. Trump was accused by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's office of illegally trying to cover up a $130,000 payment made to porn star Stormy Daniels, part of a scheme to stifle sex scandals that threatened to derail his 2016 campaign. Like Bill Clinton didn't do that. But anyway, jurors found that Trump falsified business records.
He was a Democrat, Todd. He was a Democrat.
Yeah,
so it didn't happen. He was a Democrat.
I mean, she wasn't out like in a press conference wiggling a check, right?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere.
I'm not wiggling a check. Like,
oh, okay. All right.
A check.
Got it.
I got it. Jurors found that Trump falsified.
You said wiggling. I didn't know what was fixing to happen. I was just making sure. Making sure. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Jurors found that Trump falsified business records throughout 2017 by lying that he was paying his then lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, for phony legal services, when he was actually reimbursing him for the hush money that kept Daniels from speaking about having sex with Trump inside a Lake Tahoe hotel room in 2006. Prosecutors showed 11 invoices, 12 digital ledger entries, and 11 checks to Cohen, most of which were signed by Trump, that they said were evidence that the Trump organization tried to disguise the repayments to Cohen as phony legal services. Trump's lawyers seized on Cohen's history of lies and revealed that he had once stolen $60,000 from the ex-president's business as they tried to paint him as a serial fabulous. Spell that. Hell-bent on seeing his former boss behind bars. Cohen, a convicted perjurer who testified that he lied under oath.
A convicted liar. A convicted liar.
Yeah, a convicted liar. Let's trust that guy. Was the prosecution's star witness. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next, Mr. Producer, what else we got next? Let's go. Let's see. All right. This is Judge Janine. Love Judge Janine. Good friend of mine. Let's play this clip here.
We don't want to see what they do in third world countries, to have one side start indicting and jailing the other side. This is not American. This is not who we are. And to see this happen before our eyes, when we know that this is not legitimate, when a defendant was not advised of the crimes that he was charged with, they don't even know what the crimes are until we get to the charge to the jury, as if the prosecution and the judge, with a wink and a nod, said, hey, I'll give you that old accomplice testimony, even though we didn't charge Donald Trump with aiding and abetting anyone else. I'll throw it in as a matter of law. He's an accomplice. And I'll throw in those federal election violations. So they'll have to say, yeah, Donald Trump must have done it too. And I'll throw in a hooker and a guy who's a serial perjurer. This is lunacy. And I think that any red-blooded American who sees this is going to understand this isn't what we do to our political enemies. This is what they do in kangaroo courts and third world countries. God help America after what I've seen in the last few weeks.
Do you agree with Judge Janine there? Do you believe that America has stepped into third world territory with this? Comment in the chat below. We need every single one of you. This is a reminder. We need every single one of you to hit that like button, hit that share button, hit the subscribe button, the follow button, and comment in the chat right now. Has America stepped foot into third world country status with what we just saw, not only yesterday, but for the past 6 weeks and through these 4 indictments across the board? Do you believe this to be so? I see the chat. Yes, 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 yes. Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, do you believe that America has stepped foot into third world territory? I believe it to be so.
We at least 2.8 at this point.
2.8. We're about to round up is what we're about to do.
We round in second.
Yeah, Tony? Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
I was going to say something, but it was a little bit off of what we were talking about here. I'm just sitting here thinking about how negative this whole trial has been since it started.
Yeah.
And I'm a glass half full kind of person.
Yeah.
And the positive things that I see.
You are a delightful man.
Well, I mean,
you are delightful.
Well, the positive things that I've seen here is that his donations to his political contributions have gone through the roof. Number one. Number two, I believe that a lot of people who were not pro-Trump before are going to be pro-Trump now. Number three, and correct me if I'm wrong, everybody in the chat, or you guys as well, I haven't seen any kind of protests, or maybe protests, but any kind of property damage, like when the George Floyd trial came out, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial came out, and that verdict came out, people started destroying property because they didn't agree with the verdict. And like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that the more conservative, right-minded people are showing what true Americans are supposed to be like.
Well, I think yes, but I also think that the sentencing hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That's what
True.
I think.
Yeah.
I
Big,
True,
think
but it's
big
still
thing.
this guilty verdict. I mean, could have sent people through the roof, just taking out their weapons and just destroying property and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, and yes, that is true. I do think that the argument, I do think we're slowly starting to lose the argument of when is enough enough. Which again, I'm not ready to comment on that yet. But I mean, I think a lot of good law-abiding citizens in America are sitting back thinking, well, what are we supposed to do now? But again, I will say this, although yes, Trump's fundraising has hit through the roof, and we'll talk about that here in a minute as well, I do believe that there is a large amount of people who either A, don't care, B, have no idea what has happened, and or C, it just doesn't to not realize the severity of what happened yesterday. The precedent was set that you are no longer innocent until proven guilty. You are guilty until proven innocent, and or worse, you show me the man, I'll show you the crime. The bending of our legal system, the bending of everything across the board. And oh, there's another thing. Comment right now and let me know. Do you believe that our justice system as we know it is dead? I believe the answer is yes. I don't see how you can come back from this. I don't see how you instill faith in our justice system, faith in our legal proceedings. I don't see how you restore that. I don't see how any of that is fixable. I don't see how any of that becomes. I don't know. It's a weird place for me. Because I love this country, man. I do. I love this country. I mean, the show is literally called Dear America. But I don't recognize this place. I don't.
Graham,
yeah.
Do we not think after all the press conferences we've seen through this whole trial, I mean, with Eric, Don Jr., Laura, Trump himself, it felt to me like they were leading us to this verdict. Like, I never heard them say once that they were going to beat this, that they were going to win. It was, this is robbery. This is persecution.
Yeah.
It's like they knew.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when the silent majority stays silent for too long.
Well,
this is what happens.
The deck was definitely stacked against them for sure.
But that's what I'm saying. Like at what point is enough? And this is not. I'm not talking about burning down stuff and things like that. But what I am saying is at what point do law-abiding, good, patriotic Americans just go? Vote of non-confidence in the states. Like at what point is enough? At what point are we going to do something about any of this stuff? Like at what point are we going to? Let's get into some questions here for a minute. I see a lot of super questions here. So let's just read some of this. All right. So this is from SL Kohler 1972. I work for a woke company and I'm ready to start flying Trump 2024 flags, bumper stickers, yard signs, all of it. But there is still that fear of some leftists setting my house on fire. So again, this goes with what I said. Like, Tony, I hear your point, but I think it's less of reserving, like, oh, we're superior. And I think it's more fear. I think people are more afraid to let their frustrations be known. I think people are more afraid even for their workplace to find out where they stand or what they believe. And comment if you think I'm wrong. Do you think I'm wrong there? Do you think I'm right? I don't know. Let's see. This is JR Nation 88. On 9/11, they woke up a sleeping giant. Yesterday, they did it again. I hope that's true.
I hope so.
I do. And it's sad that in America, we have to get to this point where these horrific things happen. Now, 9/11 obviously was a horrific attack and loss of life. This is an attack on the infrastructure that is the foundation of America. And so I hope so. I hope you're right. This is Angel _ A lot of numbers I'm not going to read. I actually cried. Not because President Trump was found guilty. I cried for the death of my country. And I think that's a lot of us. I think
That's how I felt.
I don't think any of us truly believe that Trump is going to spend the rest of his life in jail. I don't think that. In fact, like I said, I think that they will put him in jail and then he'll bond out, and then I would not be shocked. And we've even had internally in the company people saying, well, you know, the reality is it ain't going to be a whole lot of stuff and da-da-da. He faces up to 4 counts of prison for each count.
4 years.
That's what I mean. 4 years. Sorry, what did I say?
4 counts. So
4
4
counts.
counts.
Oh, I'm sorry. 4 years for each count. Them's was 34 of them. You know what I mean? Like
Dems
Trump
is
is
a lot of
77
years.
years old. Do I think that that he'll go to prison, he'll bond out, and then they'll say, well, okay, but you're on house arrest? Yeah, I really, in fact, in the chat right now, let me know your thoughts. Do you believe that it is possible that Trump gets put in jail? And here's the thing that shocks me. At this point, how can you not think that that's going to happen? The same people that will say, no way he goes to jail are the same people that yesterday at about this time said, no way they vote him. No way they find him guilty.
Yeah.
No way. No way they find him guilty. But I'm serious. Comment in the chat right now with a yes or a no. Do you think that it's possible that Trump actually goes to jail? I think the answer is absolutely he goes to jail. Absolutely he goes to jail.
I agree with you, Graham, because I think his enemies, being the Democrats, they want to parade him around and show the American people what they did to him. And, you know, throw him in a jail suit, you know, show him in a jail cell.
And they'll put him in an orange jumpsuit just to add things across the board. Todd, you're shaking your head. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Democrats are in a wait and see moment right now. They got the verdict they want. I think they're going to sit back and see how the country reacts. And then they'll make their decision on whether they put jail time. Because if the country uproars over this, then no, they'll be like, oh, back up.
I don't think
let's
so.
not push it to another level.
I think that's what they want. I think they want us to lose our minds because other than that, here's the thing. A convicted felon can run for president. You can even run for president behind bars. Okay. So what's the point of getting the conviction what's the real reason that they wanted the conviction? Because as we pointed out, Trump's donations have skyrocketed. This is probably going to help him in the polls. So why do it is my question. Why go to this point to get to the conviction when getting the conviction actually doesn't help you? That hurts you. I think that they want the country on fire. That's what I think, because it'll give them the opportunity then to go, oh, well, given the unrest in our nation, blah, 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 we need this, and that. And then, you know, we're also going to get to the underbelly of thing that just went under the radar in this episode too. But let's keep going here a little bit. Dylan421X said, I'm voting for a convicted felon for chief, I'm voting for a convicted felon in chief, President Donald Trump. I also will be casting my vote for a convicted felon November 5th. I also will be doing the same thing. Lux Lawless One said, we have to trust the quote pause. Donald Trump put the government on hold to show the people exactly what we're saying or what we're seeing today. I don't 100% understand what that means. I'm sorry. We have to trust the quote pause. Donald Trump put the government on hold to show the people exactly what we're seeing today.
What we're saying.
Oh, what we're saying today.
I don't know. Maybe it was when he didn't force a shutdown, but he stopped it when he was president. I don't know. Tim Robinson 26 said, who's in control, Biden or the Lord? Let go and let God. Fear not and know he is in control. This isn't fear. I don't have fear. I mean, we all know how this ends. We all know that we win in the end. What this is,
just because we know God's in control and we know the ultimate outcome doesn't mean God gives us the excuse to sit back idly by and do nothing. And so I truly believe, even from a Christian perspective, and comment in the chat and let me know what you think. I believe as Christians specifically, hello, Christians, when you going to do something, check your battery, Thelma. It's time to stop just playing the organ and do something. 70% of Christians don't vote. Hello, wake up, church. Wake up, church. It's time to go. All right. Well, we'll get to the rest of those in a minute. We got a lot more show to do here. All right, Mr. Producer, what's next? All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for you to stop giving your money to woke companies that hate you. You need to go to patriotmobile.com/Graham today. Check this out. Show them the little two network photo here. Let's zoom in on that. Patriot Mobile has got this new technology. Every one of us remembers when AT&T went black and the world went back to like 1990, where we had to rely on signs on the road to figure out where we were going. Patriot Mobile 1 has got this new technology to where, everybody bounces off either AT&T or Verizon towers. They're not building any more towers. Patriot Mobile, if AT&T goes out, you simply switch to the Verizon channel. If Verizon sucks where you are, you switch back to the AT&T channel. This is truly to make sure that you are covered wherever you go. And unlike AT&T and all those other places that use the junk fees to donate to charities that are against your morals and your values, Patriot Mobile uses it to give to Christian companies, Christian charities that you care about. Also, it's cheaper. Keep your phone, get a better phone, keep your number, change your number. Some of you probably need to have people lose your number in the first place. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham gets you free activation. Tell them I sent you. Support a Christian organization. Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham. All right, what's next, Mr. Producer? The thrill. There we go. All right. Okay. So this is recent. So this is Alina Habba here. This is a little bit of a long one, but let's hear what she has to say here. Let's go.
President Trump's legal spokeswoman. Well, not former. I mean, she's President Trump's legal spokesperson, Alina Habba. She's been in the courtroom the whole time. Everybody I know around President Trump says he's completely stoic. Saw this coming. I guess that was clear in his comments about Mother Teresa. However, I'm sure it doesn't take the sting away. And based on the actions of this judge, one has to wonder, 4 days before the RNC, is he going to release President Trump on his own recognizance pending appeal? Is he going to declare he has to have home confinement, can't go to a debate, can't go to his own convention? Pending appeal, or will he want to send him to jail? Nothing that judge decides will shock me.
No, it won't shock me. Let's remember who this judge is, Sean. Let's be very clear. And I am so happy to be on this show on such an important day in American history, because if we don't stop this now, we are done. And I don't mean now, I mean right now, as in yesterday. Judge Merchan today watched my client. I watched him. I watched the jury say guilty 34 times, and I watched him. And he looked at my client, and he covered his mouth. And he covered his mouth probably because he was smiling. Let's be very clear. This judge has Bannon, Weisselberg, and no shock to me, Trump. And he is 100% a man that should have recused himself. But our justice system is so broken right now, Sean. And I want to also remind the American people of one thing. I am a legal spokesperson. I am also an American. And I will be voting for Trump, not because of President Trump, who I obviously support, but because I support America. And so does he. Our country is currently in a serious state. And we cannot look at this as anything other than a serious state of affairs where we have an issue, where people are using politics in the legal courtroom. It cannot happen anymore. I have seen it. I have been in court since October. Trial after trial after trial. For 15 years, I have been practicing law. I have never seen anything like this in my life. And that judge intentionally wouldn't even allow in pretrial proceedings that the court will not report, they would not allow us to bring up that President Trump didn't even take deductions. He didn't do anything wrong. His CFO, him, the Trump organization, the family, nothing. But that evidence was kept away from the jury, and it is intentional. This is not America. And I'm speaking to MSNBC viewers and CNN viewers, the Rachel Maddows, the Caitlin Collins. It is time to come together because this administration does not care about us. They do not. They care about themselves.
They don't care either because they got what they wanted politically. And
that's right.
You know, for them, it doesn't matter. The ends justify the means. I will say this, and I said this a number of days ago. I was on Fox and Friends, and on this show I said it. This is not going to impact the election, is my prediction in 158 days. I don't believe it is. You know, it's amazing. You know, Michael Cohen himself testified that he told many people that he did this on his own. You know, at that point, stop right there. That should have ended whatever novel legal theory they're putting out. And I said also, Donald Trump can't get a fair trial in New York City, and he didn't get a fair trial in New York City. And by the way, I'll find the money, and I'd love to buy Mar-a-Lago for $18 million and turn around and sell it for $1 billion, because that's New York City's legal system. How sad and pathetic is this?
Yeah, but it's not about Trump. And I really want everyone to understand that. I am the lawyer. I see the rulings. I see the hearings. It's before the trials start that they do this to us. It's before we can go in. It's so that his legal spokeswoman is gagged, so that his campaign is gagged, so that President Trump is gagged. And I'm still gagged, and so is he. And you know why? Because they don't want us to speak the truth. That's called censorship. That is not our country. We don't do that. Let Americans vote for who they want. And you know what they don't want? They don't want what is going on right now, I assure you. Because when I walk in the streets in New York by myself, I am praised and loved. And I will tell you, President Trump, what we saw today was people streaming up and down the streets, waiting to see him just to give him a thumbs up. We drove down and down, and the numbers just don't lie. Look at the polls. Sean, we are in a serious state of affairs. America is under siege in a different way than I ever thought was possible. And I never thought it would be people with a law license that would be doing it, judges that would be doing it. It's a disgrace.
Let me be clear on one thing, too. You know something? I don't want a weaponized system of justice to go after Democrats and treat them the way Donald Trump has been treated. I want equal justice, equal application. I'd like to have our constitutional republic back, and that's what I think most good, decent, honorable Americans want. Alina, you've been very generous with your time throughout this whole trial. Thank you very much.
All right. If you agree with Alina Hobb, comment yes in the comment section. I thought she had a lot of really good points in there. But again, you hear the overarching tone, which is just... Yeah, I mean, there definitely was defeat in there a little bit, and it's not defeat like they ran a bad case or anything like that, but it's defeat like, you know, where do we go from here as a country? Where do we go as we continue to try to, I don't know, piece this together? I don't know what the right answer is there.
Yeah, what I heard in her voice was defeat, but I also didn't hear a surprise tone like they were expecting it.
They knew.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like I keep saying, like they 100% knew that this was going to happen. I mean, honestly, if we're being completely honest, are any of you shocked? Like, I know we're all sad, and I know we're all gutted by it, but are we really shocked? I mean, you know, let me know what you think in the chats. But let's keep going, Mr. Producer. We've got what time is it? We got about 49 minutes before Trump is supposed, before we go to a live feed here for Trump's thing. So let's see. This is Governor Asa Hutchinson. Oh gosh. It's not easy to see a former president and the presumptive GOP nominee convicted of felony crimes, but the jury verdict should be respected. No. An appeal is in order, but let's not diminish the significance of this verdict. Dude, go.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Asa. If
control.
You talking to you or me?
I'm talking to both.
Oh, okay. Let me ask Asa a question and everybody in the chat a question. All right, and this'll mic drop this entire thing. If Donald Trump dropped out of the race right now, this would all be over. It would end that fast.
Yep.
Done. So I'm sorry. Like, don't tell me this ain't political, because if he quit, these charges would vanish.
Yep.
Like
True.
Epstein.
True. Well, they would be pardoned, right? Like I don't know if they would like vanish, but yeah, they would be pardoned and just, yes, swept under the rug. All right, Mr. Producer, what we got next? Let's go. All right, this is Ted Cruz's statement. I'm going to make this a little bigger because I'm blind. All right, this is a dark day for America. This entire trial has been a sham, and it is nothing more than political persecution. The only reason they prosecuted Donald Trump is because Democrats are terrified that he will win re-election. True. This disgraceful decision is legally baseless and should be overturned promptly on appeal, but it won't be. I'm telling you right now that it won't be. It will be upheld in the appeal. I'm telling you, if you think that they're in New York, that they're going to appeal, no, the answer is no. I don't know how you can have any faith whatsoever that is the case. I don't know how you have any faith in that.
So, Graham, do you think his only chance is when all the appeal process goes through its process, maybe he gets to the Supreme Court? Maybe he has a chance?
No, because the time that takes, he'll already have either won or lost the election.
Yep. The only chance he has right now.
And if he loses the
election,
they'll drop it.
Oh, for sure.
If he wins the election, he'll pardon himself.
Can he do? I was going to ask, can he do that?
Yeah, he can. If you're president of the United States, you can pardon
anybody.
yourself. You literally, yes.
Man, president.
Dude, you're the president, dude. And so anyway, like I'm telling you, this man is going to jail. He's going to jail, even if it's for 3 days. He's going to bond out, and they will put him on house arrest at Mar-a-Lago to keep him from being able to campaign. He also will not be allowed to vote for himself because he's a convicted felon. You don't get to vote if you're a convicted felon.
Or carry a gun.
Well,
no, it depends.
I don't think Trump carries a gun anyway.
Yeah, Florida's laws are different. I read that yesterday. He'll still be able to vote because he is a resident of Florida. Florida's rules are different. I read that yesterday.
Florida was if you were a convicted felon that you're not allowed.
I read that yesterday.
Let's look that up, Mr. Producer, in Google while we talk about it.
Let me ask you this, though, before we move on. If he's not able to campaign because he's on house arrest, how do you think that affects him? Because obviously the people that are behind him already are there already. So his campaign strategy, if it has to change, what does that look like?
He's going to have to social media. Yeah. He's going to have to jump on all social media platforms, which
his team is really good at. So
yeah, but my worry is that he's missed his opportunity to take advantage of that. I mean, I think his only hope is Rumble and X. That's what I think. But he's going to have to go to social media. All right, zoom in. I can't read this. What does this say here?
Go down.
All right. Can prisoners, felony convictions, not moral turpitude in Florida. Can felons vote in Florida? If you are convicted of a felony not of moral turpitude, you lose your right to vote until the following conditions are met. You have completed your sentence, including probation, parole, full pay. No, he can't vote. He can't vote. Oh. He's not going to be able to vote. So there you go. And so he won't even be able to vote for himself. And anyway, all right. Okay. Next, what else we got?
Thanks, Mr. Producer.
I could care less about Mike Johnson. Move on. For
real.
I do. Mike Johnson is on my crap list, dude. Wow. I do not care at all. Marjorie Taylor Greene commented November 5th is everything. Donald Trump from his Truth Social account. Victory on November 5th. Save America. Absolutely. All right, keep going. What do we got next here? All right, this is an ad that Trump put out right after getting convicted in New York. Let's play this ad for everybody.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Wow. If you're voting for Donald Trump, comment in the chat, Trump 2024, as we move on. I want to see the chat blow up. Trump 2024 if you're voting for Donald Trump. All right. What else we got? What's going on? All right, ladies and gentlemen. We've already talked to you guys about bird flu and all these other things. We already talked to you guys about shortages in the food supply and all this stuff. Now is the time for you to go to readypantry.com/Graham. Stop eating China meat, stop eating Australian meat that they bring over here and then package in the U.S. and say, boom, in America. No, it's a lie. Stop doing that. You can get a 3-day supply, a 1-week supply, a 3-month supply, a 1-year supply, and they've even got water that has a shelf life of 50 years and their food has a shelf life of 25 years. If things hit the fan, you need a couple things. Medicine, guns, ammo, you need money, and you need food. So what are you waiting for? Stop being the last one to be prepared, because once something happens, it's already too late. Go to readypantry.com/Graham. Promo code Graham saves you money. Go to readypantry.com/Graham. That's readypantry.com/Graham. Promo code Graham. All right, moving on. All right, let's read a couple more super chats before we get into some more things here. We got a little more time to go through before Donald Trump's thing. Golly, there's so many. All right.
There is a lot.
All right. So Ratchet said, come HELL or high water, I'm voting for Trump. Donna0629 said, Trump all the way. Daff Celeste said, thank you for all that you do. We appreciate that very much. Well,
thank you.
We do our best here. All right. This is Renegade. All right. Graham, you were wrong on your tweet last night. Republicans shouldn't wait to investigate and prosecute Biden when he leaves office. Investigate Obama right now. Oh, you're talking about my little poll. Should we do that? Yeah, I mean, Obama, sure. Yeah, you're right. But I think the reason we said that is because, you know, Obama is behind things right now. And, you know, Joe Biden's the president. Either way.
He's a real boy.
He's a real boy. All right. So this is C Beach 82 or S Beach 82. If they're willing to do this to a former POTUS, what's to stop them from coming after pastors, churches, and Christians that won't fall in line with the LGBTQ blah, 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 blah agenda and beliefs? Again, I have said this a million times. How long until the Bible is hate speech? How long? How long until the Bible is deemed offensive to too many people to where it's then deemed hate speech? What happens? What happens? What happens? Can you find me, Mr. Producer? There's like a poem that's called "And Then They Came for Me" or something like that. I think it's called. Can you find that for me? I want to read it here in just a minute. But remember that comment. That was a very good one. All right. This is DebWeth17. I haven't felt this bad since January 20th. 2021 when Trump left the White House. Yep, that was a really sad day for sure. All right, this is him two's mom. That judge needs to be locked up under the jail. Come quickly, Lord. The world's gone to HELL. Yeah, I mean, here you go. That is, there we go. All right, so let's read this really quick. This is a very powerful thing. All right, can we zoom in? All right, first they came for the communist, and I did not speak out. And this is the part I need to remind you to hit that like button, hit that share button, and comment in the chat. First they came for the communist, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialist, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not Jewish. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Now, obviously, this was about World War II, but the parallels between today are staggering. If we continue not to speak out, if we continue not to do something, eventually they're going to come for you, and then there's going to be no one left to speak up for you. And it's quite heavy when you read it. All right, this is from Markman0. Just wanted to thank you for all that you do. It's my birthday today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I have a day off, so I was able to catch you guys live praying for all and our country. All right. This is from Brandalorian97. When I saw the news, Trump was found guilty, I wasn't really surprised but disappointed. Once I heard the judge would find Trump guilty if the jury wasn't unanimous. Yeah, exactly. I think once everybody heard the judge's instructions, I think everybody knew what was going to happen. All right, Mr. Producer, bring us the next one. Let's go. All right, this is my friend Hogan Gidley. Let's hear what Hogan has to say.
Let me give you some truth right now. 67% of Americans already believe these attacks on Donald Trump are politically motivated. 59% of Americans believe Joe Biden is part of it. Okay? True. That tells me so many in this country aren't really concerned so much about this, although the weaponization of government is a very big issue. Let me give you some truth right
67%. I want to know who the other 33% are that don't. That's what I want to know. What have you been doing? Okay, that's what I want to know that answer. Like, what have you been doing? All right. What we got next? Okay, so here we go. Let's. I need to make this bigger here. So this is our good friend Colin Bragg. Happening now, President Trump receives massive waves of support after he was found guilty in a New York City trial, crashing its donation page. Whatever that is. Capital Sean McGuire donated $300,000. Lee Zeldin secured an $800,000 donation. Tim Pool quoted, I have just donated the maximum to Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson, import the third world, become the third world. That's what we just saw. This won't stop Trump. He will win if he's not killed first, is what he said. Wow. Megyn Kelly, guilty on all counts. The country is disgraced. Alvin Bragg should be disbarred. Scott Adams, I've just donated to Trump. The donation page crashed from the traffic. Tristan Tate, Trump donation page, link, ? Pierce Morgan, Trump's donation websites are crashing. My guess is this verdict will propel him back to the White House. Supporters on X donating amounts of $3,300 and $1,000. Now, this is true. Trump's donation page, you got this if you were trying to go because of such the influx. If you donated to Donald Trump, you need to comment donated in the chat. And if you have not donated, you need to do so right now. What we did here, I don't want you guys to think that we are doing something, asking you guys to do something. We donated $3,300, first of many donations to the Trump campaign. I mean, obviously I've donated to the Trump campaign before. This is just another additional donation. So I challenge you all to go donate, whether it's $1, $5, or you have the ability to do $3,300, whatever it is, go right now. And people are probably wondering why I blacked out my name. Graham is my middle name, and I go by Graham. This isn't like some ruse, but it because it's, you pay for stuff, it gave my first name, and I don't want people to know my first name.
But for a simple fee, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Todd is willing to sell vital information for a bit of money.
His first name is Uncle to my daughter.
Yeah. And so that's what that is. But I challenge you all, go to DonaldJTrump.com or something like that. I don't know. Look, it's not hard. Donate to Donald Trump. DonaldJTrump.com. There you go. Some people don't know where to go to donate, which I don't know if that's cute or if that's sad.
Google, folks.
But Google is a powerful tool. Just Google donating to Donald Trump. Okay. But anyway, so we have here, we're going to continue to do so. And I challenge you to do the same as well. So again, if you've donated, somebody said donate $47 for the 47th president of the United States. I agree. Don't donate 47 cents, $47. Yes, Todd.
What does this fix?
Like, what, donating?
No, what I'm saying is I don't think money's going to fix this. I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry. I mean, help me out here.
He's going to need money to continue to fight these legal things. He's going to need money to, if they do house arrest him, he's going to need money to be able to put on these political rallies. He's going to need money.
Can you use campaign contributions for these things? Because
Well, no, but what I'm saying is he's having to use his own personal money, so he needs more money for the campaign, so he doesn't have to use his personal money to keep putting on these rallies. Here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people realize. These rallies that you guys go to that you think are so cute and so awesome and so cool, they're expensive. And they're not cheap. He's not the president anymore. So the government doesn't pay for these rallies. So all the security, all the police, all the setup, all the everything. I mean, these rallies are hundreds of thousands, if not probably 7 figures each time he does them. And the logistical nightmare with the police department, these police aren't just getting, I mean, a lot of these police are on overtime to be able to do these things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then if he goes to house arrest, I mean, they're going to have to figure out a whole new way to campaign. A lot of paid ads, a lot of this, a lot of that. It's expensive, yo. I mean, it's expensive to run a presidential campaign. And also on a presidential campaign, you have hundreds of people that are paid by the campaign to run the campaign. So yeah, I mean, it is donating to keep this stuff moving. So that's what it helps. All right, let's go. What else we got? Okay, yeah, I need to remind you guys about this. Let's go full screen, Mr. Producer, on this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to invite you to come and hang out with us at the Believer Summit in West Palm Beach, Florida, this July 26th through the 28th. This summit is more than an event. It's a mission to empower Christians across America to stand for truth and liberty courageously. Join us for an inspiring lineup of speakers, including myself. I'm going to be, they've got some picture on here of me. Can we find it really quick? Look at this 12-year-old. Who is that on here? All right. Anyway, we'll provide you with practical knowledge and strategies to boldly live your faith with grace and conviction deeply rooted in the gospel. Our goal is to inspire believers to not just defend their faith, but actively live it out, guiding our nation towards the Lord. Register now to be part of this pivotal moment in America. For more details, all you got to do is visit tpusafaith.com/believers. Again, don't miss this opportunity. Come hang out with me and so many others. Go to tpusafaith.com/believers. All right. What's next, Mr. Producer? We've got about 30 minutes before Trump goes live. Let's keep this thing rolling here. All right. This is Biden's campaign hails. What does that say? I can't, dude. This is
Biden campaign
hails Trump hush money conviction. No one is above the law. In fact, reports are coming in that there was celebration and champagne popping when the conviction came down. Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd. Yeah, Hunter Biden seems like quite the crock show, if you ask me.
Cocaine in the White House.
Cocaine in the White House. All right, next, let's move on. We got a lot of questions to go over here. All right, so this is what I want to talk about. So while all this is going on, again, I don't believe in coincidences, and this is where I remind you, we need everybody to hit that like button, comment in the chat if you're voting for Trump in 2024, and hit that share button. And also, if you're not subscribed or not following the channel, make sure to follow the channel. This is what went down the same time that the Trump jury deliberation was going on, and then the Trump conviction happened and barely anybody talked about it. Play it.
Happens inside Russia. How do you feel about that?
I think that's the right decision. I think, Ukraine needs to get whatever help it can get in defending itself. And I think NATO has urged that we allow those strikes. France, Germany, Great Britain, Canada, Finland, most of our allies have urged that. I think it is important for the United States to provide a unified approach that allows the Ukrainians to strike at those targets.
I don't know where this Ukraine war goes. You always hear, Secretary, that right now Russia is back having the full advantage here. Weapons inside.
All right, so it cuts off the beginning, but essentially what it was saying is Biden in the background of all this, and we can get off this stupid thing. Biden, in the background of all this stuff, has now given Ukraine full permission to use American missiles, drones, weapons to attack Russia proper. Like, not like where the battles are being fought currently, but to send our missiles into like Russia kind of thing. So you're fixing to have American weapons, American missiles, American drones, everything provided by America to attack Russia proper. And Biden just gave the permission for that in the background.
You might as well have boots on the ground. It's the same thing.
So, might as well.
It's the same thing.
2 points here. Number one, something like this always seems to happen when something big on the news is that the government tries to slip something in there with nobody
There's
looking.
always a what's actually going on. Always.
And my second point is how coincidental is this that this is all happening with Russia when they just released that China and Russia are trying to launch the BRICS that you were just talking about. So
it's war.
Yeah.
The wheels of war have been turning for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. And this is just further proof to that point that it's just another chink in the armor that leads to a complete and total breakdown of everything. And somebody, so many people are saying that they just donated to Donald Trump. That's awesome. I think that's great. But this is a big deal. Like, again, and hardly anybody's talking about it.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
The only other person I've heard talk about is Jack Posobiec, man. And that's it. But this like just kind of like got slid in there kind of deal. And so, I don't know. I find that very concerning. I find it, you want to talk about PSYOPs and you want to talk about all this other kind of stuff. I think that Biden okaying and giving permission for Ukraine to go after Russia proper with American missiles that we gave them. And then, you've got this stuff about this potential October surprise that is the BRICS officially denouncing the U.S. dollar as the world currency. This is some big, this is some scary stuff. And now you've got this stuff going on in our country as well. It's crazy times for sure.
Yeah. In layman's terms, Biden, without the approval of Congress, just declared war on Russia.
The fact checkers would say that's not true, but time will not be kind to the decisions that the Biden administration has made. If and when, if you read the Bible, World War III does happen at some point, right? So if and when World War III happens, it definitely, the decisions that this administration has made is definitely not helped the situation at all. All right. What else we got, Mr. Producer? Are we at, here we go. Congresswoman Elise Stefanik files misconduct complaint against Judge Merchan. Merchan has been assigned to 3 cases related to President Trump. I filed a misconduct. Okay, let's play it.
Misconduct complaint against Judge Merchan, insisting that his selection to handle Trump's case is not random at all, calling on the Inspector General of New York's court system to investigate. Andrew, what are your thoughts on this? Because, this is the same judge that oversaw Steve Bannon and other areas of Trump's world. I mean, it wasn't random that they selected him, was it?
No, I think that we've got deep issues in the New York judicial process of getting judges selected. It has to be
obvious
neutral
statement of the
and
day.
Independent. It has to be random. It doesn't appear to be that way. He continues to be put on Trump cases one after another, and it sounds like there's some shuffling and poker playing going on within the judiciary to make that happen. So I think that that investigation is very important.
New York Congresswoman Elise
Go figure. Like, and again, it's just like, why not?
Yep.
What else, man? Just bring it on at this point.
And for those of you who missed the Laura Trump interview that we had on her, she commented on this exact topic. So if you want to go back and watch the episode, she was very detailed about this whole thing. So
yeah, the previous episode before this. All right, Mr. Producer, can you start popping up our super questions and our super chats on the screen? We're going to try to knock these out before we have to cut to the live feed for President Trump. I don't remember where we left off, but maybe you can find those for us there.
It's after the next one is from Unruly Sugar.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Let's see. So, okay. All right. He can't see Rumble. All right. So I'll do Rumble here. All right. So, let's see. All right. So this is from, okay. I got it. All right. This is from Unruly Sugar. I love y'all's names. It's great. All right. Do you think dim in things ons will actually allow Trump to take the White House when he wins? I have seen that Joe Biden's administration has done everything that they claimed Trump was going to do. They claimed that Trump wasn't going to peacefully hand over power when the election happened in 2020, and he did. They claimed Trump was going to get us closer, if not into World War III, and now you see what's going on here. They claimed Trump was going to tank the economy, and it thrived, and now you see what's going on here. So I don't know. Right this second, let's just get to the GOP convention and the sentencing of Donald Trump, and let's just see what happens there. Let's see. This is Markman Zero. My wife and I are crew military Arkansas area directors. If any prior military need, no, I'm not going to do it. Prior military need resources that are faith-based, please check out our Facebook page or go to crumilitary.org. There you are. Go to crumilitary.org. This is Roger Wilcox. We now live in a country where you're guilty until proven guilty. That's I thought you were fixing to do the cliche, but that's good. All right. This next one is Todd. How's Kendra doing?
She's good.
Kendra had an appendicitis yesterday. Is that what it was?
Yeah, her appendix almost ruptured the other night. Had to have surgery, have it removed. Everything's fine. She's going through her last antibiotic treatment right now. Should be released sometime this afternoon, but she's good. Thank you.
All right, this is Brandon Lorian 97 saying, I don't know if the jurors were traitors, but wouldn't be surprised if they were threatened. Still a traitor in my mind. Sorry. I mean, it's what we do in the face of adversity that defines who we really are, not when things are hunky-dory all right. So, every major war we've ever fought and won, every major stance, I'm pretty sure people were threatened, during those times. All right. This is from Freedom Isn't Free. Hey, Free, what's up? Trump really going to jail? ? My heart fell when I saw the results. Is it okay to turn the flag upside down? ? Thank you guys for all you do. Last live episode for me for a while. He's, going to be working. Still watching. Todd, why don't you walk us through that? Todd, for those of you, this is the first time you're watching on all platforms. Todd has been very anti-flag upside down for a long time. Todd, what do you think to Free's question? Do you think, and comment in the chat while Todd's talking. Do you think it's time to fly the flag upside down? Comment in the chat and let us know.
Yeah, I have to recant my statement. I've always, guys, from Rumble, you guys know that me and Graham served in the military. I retired in 2018. And I've always been that no matter what happens, I love this country. I will always love this country. And I'm the guy that pulls into your yard if your flag is flying upside down. And I used to be that guy. And I have to recant. I posted it yesterday, a flag upside down, because at this point now, I don't think we come back from this. I don't.
I don't either.
I really
don't think we do. I agree.
It's horrible. It breaks my heart to do it, but Free, go ahead, because we're in distress, my friend.
Yeah, if you agree, go ahead, Tony.
I had a comment on the last super question about jurors being traitors, but wouldn't be surprised if they were threatened. Mm-hmm. Remember the apostles were threatened as well as they were spreading the word of Jesus and the story of Jesus throughout.
Well, they were all eventually killed.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
Exactly. So just remember that, sometimes it's hard, but you have to keep the fight going.
All right, this is Hollers. We have to give it to God. We can't give up hope. All things are possible in him. He sees the corruption, the pain, and he will avenge. We may not see it now, but he will turn this for the good. Well, the ultimate good is that Jesus comes back. And so, my only, recant to that is, we are called to be the salt and the light. And the reason that we're called to be the salt is salt was a preservative back then. So it was a reference. Like as Christians, we are to attempt as long as possible to prevent the inevitable decay of America, of the world. And so, yes, we do win in the end, but that is not an excuse to be lazy in that fight. And so I do believe that we need to stand up here. All right, this is from Gabester 3030. I can't believe we are living through this. It's just crazy. Our forefathers are turning over in their graves. Correct. Y'all all are awesome, by the way. Hey, from King, North Carolina, what do you think happens now? I think we see what happens at the sentencing. That's what I think. I mean, honestly, I haven't had time to process what happens next. Ironically, I got to go preach this Sunday, and I haven't even been able to wrap my head around
Good luck with that, buddy.
What I'm going to talk about, because not only is this going on, it's the first Sunday of Pride Month, and it's all this kind of stuff. And so I don't even know what I'm going to do across the board. All right, let's start powering through some of these here, and then we've got YouTube ones as well that Mr. Producer. In fact, let's do some YouTube ones, Mr. Producer. Pop some up on the screen for us, and then we'll go back to this.
Yeah, read that username.
I'm not reading that user's name. It went away. No, you got to put it back on. They paid for a question, Mr. Producer. You got to put it back on the screen. He immediately turned it back. I didn't see what it said. You got to put it back on. Trump is my president. Judge and jury bought and paid for. I agree completely. I'm not saying your name on the thing.
I saw that like 15 minutes ago, and I was like, "Please, God, please."
Dude, I was leaning back in my chair. My laptop's blocking the name, so I look over. I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, it's another one. I'd rather Trump being a felon than Biden. Yeah. Well, we know what you mean by a Pluto. Yes, very much so. All right, dude.
That's funny.
Do we have any not from that user here? No. Oh my gosh. Prisoners would give their commissary to Trump. #Trump24. Okay, do we have anything that's not from this user's comment? This lady is going to be famous by the time. All right, thank the Lord. Okay, all right. This is from Jamie Lewis. White House arrest Trump handcuffed to the Oval Office chair with a live band and lots of McDonald's. I'm there. I agree. I think that'd be a party. Do we have another one? And I'm going to switch back to some Rumble ones as well. Oh, my goodness. White House fact checkers pause means inaudible. Oh, okay. All right. No, cool. All right. Let's go. Let's go to another Rumble question here. All right. Let's see. Roger Wilco said, "You're not a convicted felon in a rigged trial." I wish that were true, but it's not. Droop Dog 51. Why are you even surprised at the verdict? I'm not. I'm literally the one that said he's going to be convicted. Remember, I'm not surprised at all. I'm devastated. I'm sad. I'm not surprised. They have already shown us that there is no bridge too far and no low they are not willing to go to. They are desperate and chaos is coming. Agree completely. The Wolf 092, as a Marine veteran, a blue collar worker, and a convicted felon, I'm still voting for Uncle Donald. And if they put him inside, I'll be more than okay to sit in that prison cell for you. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Todd, you take over some. We're at
Him's mom. Same question about Kendra. Thank you. Yeah, she's fine. Thank you. And thank you for your prayers. Like, a lot of people reached out to her. Mm-hmm. So, you guys are awesome, man. I mean,
14 minutes till we got to go to the live.
All right. From Brenda Renee, why are there no DAs going after Democrats, i.e. the Clintons, Obama, Biden, or even members of Congress and Senate?
Good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. It's never going to happen.
No.
Because all the DAs are Democrats. That's why. O'Neill Sin VA. Ashamed once again at our lack of justice here. I have never once flown our flag upside down, but I am today. God bless y'all. Keep fighting, Leslie. I can't agree with you more.
Sad
sis.
times.
T. Marie 2. No matter what, I stand with President Trump. Thank you guys for standing for truth. God bless Trump and y'all. Well,
Thank
God
you.
bless you
Thank
too.
you.
sis.
Thank you.
Nice
Absolutely.
comment.
Thank
Take
you.
those.
Yep.
All right, yeah, there we go. All right.
All right. So yeah, we'll keep the live feed up here
Yeah.
while we go through the rest of these here. So there we go.
Cool. Cindy 1M, this is the beginning on more awakening, as well as the door is now open for other past presidents by state AGs can go after them. They cannot unpack the box that they opened.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yep.
That this is literally, it's going to have so many different repercussions, guys. One, who's going to run for president?
Exactly.
Like I'm serious.
Exactly.
Like who other than Donald Trump can take this? And if they can do it to Donald Trump, who in the world would put themselves in a situation to where this could happen to them? Why would anyone take a chance on not just president, but you've opened it up for Congress, Senate, governor, state rep, state senator, city council, all the above. I mean, be honest. Comment in the chat. Would you run for president of the United States right now? Knowing that this stuff could happen to you? Comment in the chat and let me know. Am I crazy? I ain't running. Like, I don't have Trump money. I can't fight this stuff. What are you talking about? I would be in jail right now.
That's a fact.
They'd have had me in prison the whole
You and me
time
both.
during the trial. So anyway, all right, next.
We'd be shackled together.
I
Cindy
love this
1
live view we got going on.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Good job, Mr. Producer.
Cindy 1M.
Mr. Producer, love it.
GOP hold the convention on July 4th. We all need to contact the GOP and let's push for this to happen. He will not win any appeal in New York City, period.
Well,
Yeah, facts.
exactly. That's what I said. Like there's zero chance. Zero chance. Zero. He will not win an appeal. He's not. He is going to go to jail. He's going to. They are going to perp walk him, handcuffed, orange jumpsuit, in jail. I'm fully, there's nothing that anyone can say to convince me otherwise, because if you think that there's a chance he won't, then you're just thinking that every bit of the clown show we just saw, all of a sudden it's going to stop at the appeals court.
Yeah.
What? Anyway, all right, keep going.
From Kendra Spears.
Hey, Kendra.
No matter what, God is control. If you don't know him, now's the time to find him. Thank you for all the prayers and well wishes on my behalf. I'm on the mend and going home today. Love our dear America family.
Love it.
That's great.
Good job.
Glad to hear it, Kendra.
From Haver Tape. Can we even trust the voting system anymore? If he is put in jail, I fear an assassination attempt when he can appeal all this.
I think a lot of people are fearing that. I mean,
they won't get him in jail. It's harder to guard him in a city than it would be a jail cell. So
yeah, again, it's
like
it's
a jail
weird,
cell may be the
weird
safest
moments
place
that we
for him.
find ourselves in for sure. I mean, again. Yeah, this is some weird stuff across the board.
Shockwave _21. Laura Trump was right yesterday. If people have the time, they should sign up at protectthevote.com.
Yep.
President Trump is still my president. Trump 2024. Commies can leave.
Yep, absolutely. Laura was good. Do we have some more YouTube ones, Mr. Producer, to pull up? Let's make sure we get those. Deport Biden to Israel. A pardon can't help him there. I love it. Yeah, that's not untrue. All right, what else we got on Rumble?
Let's see. Striker J.
What's up, Striker J?
Don't forget, everything is smoke and mirrors. While we are focused on this, they just approved another $61 billion for Ukraine while we were waiting on the jury.
Right.
They knew we would be watching. All would be watching Trump.
He approved them to use our weapons. Right. It's always something. There's always something underneath all the craziness. Always across the board, 100%. Yes, agree.
Death Cop 502. Noah is the producer.
Noah, come here right now. Noah, hold on. Noah's here. Hang on, Noah.
Noah's in the house.
Come on, dude. Hurry up.
Come on down.
Walk behind me right here. We're fixing to prove this wrong right now. Just walk behind me. Everybody, this is Noah. Say hi to Noah. Mr. Producer, do something on the thing.
Hands up.
There we go. Yeah. Your hands are up. Yes, that Noah is not the producer, but we appreciate you guys knowing that Noah, is a part of the team. That's funny. I think it's funny. Somebody made a really douchey comment. They were like, who gives a flying F about who the producer is? You guys 12? Shut up,
well,
man.
Quit guessing.
Quit guessing.
Yeah, we're having fun with it. All
right.
Anyway,
Somebody's saying Noah's cute. Ooh. Noah, as far as my knowledge, Noah is single, ladies. So Noah's single, and for a small fee, I will put his number on this live feed for a small fee.
Are you pimping up
I
Noah
will,
right now?
I will PIMP Noah out to the world. And we're going to get Noah a date when it's all. No, he's walking back in here now. What?
They just dropped fundraising.
Oh, they just dropped
$34 million.
$34 million.
Wow.
In 12 hours. Wow, $34 million.
That's crazy.
That's amazing across the board. All right, keep donating, guys. Keep donating. We are 7 minutes out from when President Trump is supposed to give a speech here. All right, Todd, let's keep going. Keep reading.
All right, here we go. From Ratchet. Graham, this is my concern. The RNC rhinos are working shady stuff, and I fear they will try to replace Trump as the nominee. Florida RNC rhinos are already replacing MAGA people.
Yes, and so that is a legitimate concern. And here's what I will say: any person who A, has not spoken out already, or B, would try to usurp. That's the right word, right? Usurp President Trump as the Republican nominee. They need to be immediately put on the primary hit list. Primary them in their next election cycle, because you already missed it for this one. But in 2026, they need to be primaried and got out of there because they're a bunch of traitors. Again, this is the point where we got to remind you guys to hit that like button, hit the share button, and comment in the comment section if you are going to vote for Trump in 2024. Just comment Trump 24 or Trump or an American flag, whatever. Look at all this. Look at this live feed. I just noticed this. Look at all the people that are starting to line up. These look like protesters outside of New York, of Trump Tower. A guilty loser, they say. New York's there. All right, Todd, keep going.
The Wolf 092. I was convicted in 2006 in New Jersey. I moved to Arizona in 2014. I voted in 2016 and 2020 in Arizona, and will vote again this year. Felons can vote.
Well, yeah, it says in Florida that once you serve your time and pay all your fees and things like that, then you can get your voting rights back. Trump ain't served no time. He ain't going to pay no fees. I'm telling you, he's not going to be able to vote for himself in this election cycle. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say he would never be allowed to vote again ever. I'm saying in this election cycle, he's not going to be able to.
Yeah. From Powered by Steam, Todd, keep it shut. I go by my middle name as well, Brosnan. Before the sellout,
Brosnan, bro.
Brosnan. Before you sell him out to the world, be there for your brother. Just saying. Oorah, son. Why do I
Yeah,
always do
Todd.
that?
Yeah, thank
I
you.
go by my- I
Thank
go
you,
by my
person in
middle
the
name,
chat.
too.
Thank you, person in the chat. I appreciate it.
We all go by our middle names.
This is the backstabbing I receive daily from the people who work in this organization all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. From Deb with 17, my Marine husband came home from work yesterday and turned our flag upside down.
Mr. Producer, let's go to Newsmax and see if they have a live feed. This is the Associated Press. They're showing all the haters. I wonder if Newsmax is showing potentially. Nope, Newsmax has got Wendy Bell on. All right, go back to Associated Press. Who cares? We'll go to the people that hate Donald Trump's side. You know what? Why
Sure.
not? Yeah. Okay. All right. Next.
From Mo Moose. Mo Moose. Red Sea moment. Let us not lose faith. God will show it's his hand, not man's, that saves America. Billion soul harvest on the horizon. By the way, I'm so happy to see Tony on the show. Much love, y'all.
Thank you.
Hashtag
Thank you,
MAGA.
everybody. Thank y'all. It's great to be back. Thank you.
I was just glad to have your music back this morning, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that was epic.
We
I like
do
that.
listen
Yep.
to the feedback of the audience when it comes to bring the music back, bring it back.
Is that how they sound, Graham, when they're doing that?
That's how I imagine they sound when they're
Yeah.
upset. It makes me, you know how they tell you when you're speaking in public, just imagine everybody's naked and things like that. Well, when people like at us, that's how I imagine they sound. I just imagine it sounding that way.
I have the Charlie Brown voice, the wah 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 wah.
Charlie Brown. You're going old school there, Tom.
These poor people that are just trying to cross the street right now, like they're just like, good grief, man. Can we just like cross? I got to get to work.
Yeah. From NJ Kit Kat. At what point does SCOTUS step in?
It has to go through every other thing. It can't just jump to the Supreme Court. So it's got to go through every single appeal process, and it has to go through all the timelines in between. And by that point, the election will be over. So I'm telling you, it's not going to get to the Supreme Court. And if it does, he's either going to be president and it's going to fix itself, and or he will lose, and then nobody's going to care anymore.
Yeah. From man, I'm assuming this is Naked 01.
Y'all's names, dude, are going to get us kicked off YouTube.
I know, right? Thank you, guys. Listeners since the beginning. This is disgusting what's happening. Also agree food is being attacked. How many company Eden Feeds contact you about becoming a sponsor for your show?
What now? Say that again. The last part. How many companies? What?
How can my company, Eden Feeds, contact you about becoming a sponsor for your show?
Email me and we will send it to our team that's in charge of working business relationships. Graham at dearamericamedia.com. Email me at graham@dearamericamedia.com. We would be glad to put you in communication with our team to possibly work something out. So, all right, what's next?
It's me, Samantha.
Hi, Samantha.
But Epstein's list is still classified.
Yep. Absolutely. Again, to the point. You can convict Donald Trump over a nothing, but we can't find out a single person to justice over the Epstein client list. Here is the thing. It's now 11 o'clock. We are waiting for Donald Trump's live press conference. How late do we think the president's going to be? It's going to be an interesting thing to get through. This is the point where we remind you to hit that like button and hit that share button. The more you like this, the more people see it. The more you share it, the more people see it. Hit that follow button or the subscribe button if this is your first time watching the show, if you've enjoyed it. And then make sure to leave us a comment in the comment section. We do so love to go back and read as many of the comments as possible. All right, Todd, let's keep going while we're
Here
waiting.
we go. From AZ Cards 1, I'm new to the show. God bless y'all and air assault. Hooah.
There you go. Love it.
M. Parker 0619. Everyone has to vote and vote early. Like Trump said, we have to make it too big to rig.
Too big to rig. Yes. Laura Everybody's mad at me because my accent. Laura Trump was on. Laura is Laurie, and everybody gets mad at me. Laura, like Laura. And anyway, I say Laura because it's just how I talk. But either way, everybody was just obliterating me in the chat yesterday. It's Laura. How dare you? And anyway, again, that's what I imagine they sound like in my head. And so anyway, she was saying that last night too, that you cannot be disenfranchised by what's happening. Now is the time that more people have to vote more than ever before. Like, we need people to vote more than ever before because we have to make it too big to rig. Yes, too big to rig. And if we're being honest, the 2020 election, whether you think it was rigged or not, it was too close in some places regardless. And so we have to make it too big to rig. What else we got, Todd?
All right, here we go from M3RP. Republicans are too busy crying and whining like children as to who has the bigger stick, yet Democrats are all unified behind one thing, even if it's treasonous. Republicans need to wake up.
Yes, agree. And Christians need to wake up. And Christians.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you how many pastors texted me personally yesterday and didn't say a dang thing on their platforms. I cannot tell you how many pastors texted me literally like, dude, what in the world's going on? What are we doing? Like, do I need to get in a bunker? Like, what's going on? And didn't say a word about it on their platforms. Christians need to wake up, bro. You got to get your head out of the sand. You got to wake up. And the church has got to take its rightful place in leading society, not just sitting idly by while society crumbles. Next.
Yep. Last one.
All right. Last one. Get your super questions in right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's fixing to be live soon. So here we go. Last one.
Deb with 17. This is interesting. Notice the pre-printed guilty signs.
Yeah, very true. Well, I mean, if I'm playing devil's advocate here, that's no different than like a national championship.
Yeah, they print both.
You're going to print both just in case. I mean, admittedly, we did and I'm not I want to be truthful. Admittedly, we had two different thumbnails ready for today. Yeah. Not guilty, guilty. You know, I mean, so I think that one's probably a little less nefarious, and that one's more. Yeah, they just had both ready to go.
Well, we do have one more.
All right.
Red-blooded conservative. The justice system is dead. All these people celebrating it like it doesn't open the door for injustice system to go after whoever they want, innocent or not. Prayers for the Trump family.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, I think that's the saddest part of all of this is that I don't know how we go back to a world where we can trust the justice system. I don't know how we go back to a world where these things can be fixed. I don't know how we go back to a world where I don't know. I don't know where America goes from here. It's going to be very interesting to see what President Trump says today. It's going to be very interesting to figure that out. As we wait with you guys on pins and needles, what do you think he's going to say? Comment below. Let us know what you think Donald Trump is going to say today. As we wait for the president to come to us live here, just like everybody else. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us and choosing to watch this with us. It's not lost on us that you could be doing other things, but you are sitting here with us, and we are appreciative of that. So keep sharing this video. Keep, tell your mama, tell your friends, tell your grandmama, tell all of them to hang out with Dear America today. And yeah, we're excited to be here with you guys. Oh, got another one.
Here we go.
Let's see.
SM Cox 14.
Yeah.
What about the Convention of States? Love from Florida.
I mean, you got to have enough states wanting to do it, first of all. And again, here we go. There's something going on. Is this him? Is this him? It is him. All right, let's go to it live. Let's turn this up. Share this video, like this video. Here we go.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is a case where if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. These are bad people. These are, in many cases, I believe, sick people. When you look at our country, what's happening where millions and millions of people are flowing in from all parts of the world, not just South America, from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East, and they're coming in from jails and prisons, and they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it, because they could right now, today, he could stop it. But he's not. They're destroying our country. Our country is in very bad shape, and they're very much against me saying these things. They want to raise your taxes by 4 times. They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car, but make it very possible for China to build all of our cars. It's a very serious problem that we have. We just went through one of many experiences where we had a conflicted judge, highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before. I'm under a gag order, nasty gag order, where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines and was threatened with jail. Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading the Republicans to the point where that's over. So I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put 2 sentences together, given by a court, and they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people. Maybe his people more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it, because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. And this is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. So we have a judge who's highly conflicted. You know what the confliction is. Nobody wants to write about it, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. If I do, he said, I get put in jail. So we'll play that game a little bit longer. We won't talk about it, but you're allowed to talk about it. I hope you do, because there's never been anybody so conflicted as this. As far as the trial itself, it was very unfair. We weren't allowed to use our election expert under any circumstances. You saw what happened to some of the witnesses that were on our side. They were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft. People say, oh, he seems like such a nice man. No, unless you saw him in action. And you saw that with a certain witness that went through hell. And when we wanted to do things, he wouldn't let us do those things. But when the government wanted something, they got everything. They got everything they wanted. It was a rigged trial. We wanted a venue change where we could have a fair trial. We didn't get it. We wanted a judge change. We wanted a judge that wasn't conflicted. And obviously he didn't do that. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We had a DA who was a failed DA. Crime is rampant in New York, violent crime. That's what he's really supposed to be looking at. Crime is rampant in New York. Yesterday in McDonald's, you had a man hitting him up with machetes, a machete. Whoever can imagine even a machete being wielded in a store, in a place where they're eating, and he's going rampant. And Bragg is down watching a trial on what they call crimes. They're falsifying business records. That sounds so bad. To me, it sounds very bad. You know, it's only a misdemeanor, but to me, it sounds so bad. When they say falsifying business, that's a bad thing for me. I've never had that before. I'm falsifying. You know what falsifying business records is? In the first degree. They say falsifying business records. Sounds so good, right? it means that legal expense, I paid a lawyer, totally legal. I paid a lawyer a legal expense. And a bookkeeper, without any knowledge from me, correctly marked it down in the books. A very professional woman, highly respected, she testified, marked it down in the books as a legal expense. So a legal expense, paid a lawyer, is a legal expense in the books. It's not sheetrock, construction, or any other thing. It's a legal expense. Think of that. This is what the falsification of business records were. And I said, what else are you going to call it? What else are you going to call it? Now, I would have testified. I wanted to testify. The theory is you never testify, because as soon as you testify, anybody, if it were George Washington, don't testify, because they'll get you on something that you said slightly wrong, and then they sue you for perjury. But I didn't care about that. I wanted to. But the judge allowed them to go into everything that I was ever involved in, not this case, everything that I was ever involved in, which is a first. In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did. Was he a bad boy here? Was he a bad boy there? And my lawyer said, what do you need to go through? And all you wanted to do is testify simply on this case. Because I would have loved to have testified. To this day, I would have liked to have testified. But you would have said something out of whack, like it was a beautiful sunny day and it was actually raining out. And I very much appreciate the big crowd of people outside. That's incredible what's happening. The level of support has been incredible. So the whole thing is legal expense was marked down as legal expense. Think of it. This is the crime that I committed, that I'm supposed to go to jail for 187 years for. When you have violent crime all over this city at levels that nobody's ever seen before, where you have businesses leaving, and businesses are leaving because of this, because heads of businesses say, man, we don't want to get involved with that. I could go through the books of any business person in this city, and I could find things that, in theory, I guess, let's indict him, let's destroy his life. But I'm out there, and I don't mind being out there, because I'm doing something for this country, and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future. But this is far beyond me. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency. And the people understand it, because I just see a poll just came out, the Daily Mail. That was the first one, came out, was done last night right after the verdict, where I'm up 6 points. 6 points from what we already were. We were leading fairly substantially. We're up 6 points in the Daily Mail poll. Now, maybe other polls come out and it says something differently. But a lot of people have predicted it, because the public understands, and they understand what's going on. This is a scam. There's a rigged trial. It shouldn't have been in that venue. We shouldn't have had that judge. He should have allowed us to have an election expert. We had the best expert, most respected expert, head of the Federal Elections Commission. He was all set to testify. He was waiting for 2 days. And when it was his turn, Bragg's people protested, and the judge knocked him out, said you can't testify. He actually said you can't testify for anything having to do with the trial. You can say what the federal elections is. Well, that doesn't help. Everybody knows that. But you can't testify. So essentially, he wasn't able to testify. Other people weren't able to testify. But with these people, they were able to use people salacious. By the way, and nothing ever happened. There was no anything. Nothing ever happened, and they know it. But they were as salacious as they could be, and it had nothing to do with the case, but it had to do with politics. And do you notice the timing? The timing was perfect. This case was dead. It was dropped by every agency, every governmental board. It was dropped by the highly respected Southern District. They said, no, there's no case here. It was dropped by federal election, and that's what it's about. This is about a federal election, not a state election. You're not even allowed to look at it. They took the state and the city, and they went into a federal election. They're not allowed. The people from federal election, Southern District, and Washington dropped the case. Everybody dropped the case. There was no case. Cy Vance dropped the case. And when Bragg came in, he said, this is the most ridiculous case I've ever seen. And who would have a certain person, again, gag order, who would have a certain person like this ever testify? He said, this is essentially one of the worst people I've ever seen ever to testify. He said, the craziest case I've ever seen. This is Bragg. Then when I announced I was running for president, a long time later, they decided to revive this case. And they got a judge, Judge Marchand, who was responsible for another case that was also brought. It destroyed the life of a very good man, by the way. Destroyed the life of a very good man who went to prison once, and then they just put him in prison again because they said he lied. He didn't lie. I looked at the statements he made. In fact, he didn't remember something, and they put him in jail. Again, they've destroyed him. With me for many years, he was an honorable person. He was an honest man. And if you look at what he did, supposedly, it never happened. There's never been anything like this. Over the education of his grandchildren. Over, he didn't report that he had a car or 2 cars on his income. I don't know. I wonder how many people here have cars. I wonder how many people said, oh, gee, I have a car that's worth X dollars. How do you even figure it? And I guess you do have to report it, but I would say probably almost nobody does. Nobody even thinks about it. They put this man, they destroyed this man, but they put him in jail again because they didn't want him to testify. They didn't want him to testify. That's why he went to jail. They put him in jail twice. He's 77 years old. Now, normally I'd say that's an old guy, but I don't feel 77. Nobody ever says that about me. I'd like them to say, gee, we have to have a little sorrow for this man, because they just don't say that about me, but maybe I'm better off that way. I think I'm probably better off that way. But they put him in jail twice. And you have to see what they put him in jail. And he was threatened by the judge. This man was told, you're going to get 15 years in jail if you don't give up Trump. And he was told that. You're going to get 15 years in jail. And he made a plea deal because he didn't want to spend the rest of his life. And he was told that viciously. We're living in a fascist state. He was told that viciously. So you can go to jail for 4 months, 5 months, or you can get 15 years in jail. So do a plea. Almost who wouldn't do that plea? Everyone does those pleas. It's a horrible thing. There's a whole group of lawyers that fight that. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. But they destroyed his life. So many other things. You look at Southern District didn't want to bring the case. Nobody wanted to bring the case. And then you know who didn't want to bring the case? Most of all is Bragg. Bragg didn't want to bring it. But then he brought it. And they tried to make it a different case. They didn't say legal expense equal legal expense. Again, if I wrote down and paid a lawyer, and by the way, this was a highly qualified lawyer. Now, I'm not allowed to use his name because of the gag order. But, you know, he's a sleazebag. Everybody knows that. Took me a while to find out. But he was effective. He did work. But he wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer. You know, they like to use the word fixer. He wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer. At the time, he was a fully accredited lawyer. Now, he got into trouble not because of me. He got into trouble because he made outside deals, and he had something to do with taxi cabs and medallions, and he borrowed money. And that's why he went. And then he pled to three election violations. And as soon as I saw that, I said, I wonder why he did that. He pled. He took a deal. Now, he took a deal because he wanted to get off. In other words, I'll take a plea deal, and I want to get off. And he wanted to make a deal with the Southern District. And they wrote the worst report I think I've ever seen on any human being, other than the report that was written on James Comey by the Inspector General, a very great Inspector General, actually. Wrote a report that was so bad. This one was possibly worse. The Southern District, the judge didn't let us use it. He said, it's hearsay. I said, it's not hearsay. Wouldn't let us use it. This is about the man. But he got in trouble for a very simple reason, because he was involved with borrowing a lot of money, and he did something with the banks. I don't know if it's defrauded the banks, but something happened. You guys know what it is. And then in addition to that, he gave up on 3 things where he wasn't guilty. In fact, they were going to testify in that. The head of the FEC, the Brad Smith, the election expert, #1 rated in the country, was going to testify. He took a plea on 3 things. He just added them in because that gave him more bargaining power with respect to me. But the 3 things that he pled on, having to do with the election and having to do essentially a little bit with me, they weren't crimes. They weren't crimes. Nor is paying money under an NDA. So we have an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It's a big deal, a non-disclosure agreement. Totally honorable, totally good, totally accepted. Everybody has them. Every company has non-disclosure agreements. But the press called it slush fund and all sorts of other things. Hush money, hush money. It's not hush money. It's called a non-disclosure agreement. And most of the people in this room have a non-disclosure agreement with their company. It's a disgrace. So it's not hush money. It's a non-disclosure agreement, totally legal, totally common. Everyone has it. And what happened is he signed a non-disclosure agreement with this person, I guess other people, but it's totally honest. You're allowed to make the payment. You don't have to make it. You can make it any way you want. It's a non-disclosure agreement. And he signed that. And there was nothing wrong with signing it. And this should have been a non-case. And everybody said it was a non-case, including Bragg. Bragg said, until I ran for office. And then they saw the polls. I was leading the Republicans. I was leading the Democrats. I was leading everybody. And all of a sudden, they brought it back. It's a very sad thing that's happening in our country. And it's a thing that I'm honored. In a way, I'm honored. It's not that it's pleasant. It's very bad for family. It's very bad for friends and businesses. But I'm honored to be involved in it because somebody has to do it. And I might as well keep going and be the one. But I'm very honored to be involved because we're fighting for our Constitution. The money that was paid legally. There was nothing illegal. In fact, the lawyer in creating the NDA, because at that time he was a fully accredited lawyer. He wasn't a fixer. I never thought of him as a fixer. The media called him a fixer, or the prosecutors called him a fixer. He was a lawyer, and he was fairly good. Later on, I didn't like what he did. I didn't like, for instance, I didn't like that when I became president, he went around and made deals with companies. When I heard that, he was gone. He was gone. And he had payments coming to him, and a lot of this involved things that are very simple. There was nothing wrong. This was standard stuff, all standard stuff. Everything involved was standard. There was no crime here. In fact, I just watched a couple of the reports. You watched Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, Greg Jarrett. You look at all of these people, Mark Levin, all very talented people, great people, many more. And they don't know me, essentially. They don't know me. They're legal scholars and experts. But I look at them. I watched Turley this morning saying, there's no crime here. Everybody says there's no crime here, except for this DA that's got the city out of control with crime. It's absolutely out of control. So we have an NDA that was signed. We have legal expenses. And here's the thing on legal expenses. You have 100 where they say, they do a charge. I just recorded this out. Falsification of business records in the first degree. It sounds so bad. I said, wow. And even my own lawyers, I get very upset with them because they don't say what it is. They say, well, falsification of legal records is only a felony. Well, that's a lot. It is only they say a misdemeanor. But they try and bring it up to a felony if there's 2 crimes. They have all these different things. The other thing is they missed the statute of limitations by a lot, because this was very old. They could have brought this 7 years ago instead of bringing it right in the middle of the election. So they missed the statute of limitations. They did everything. Now, let me give you the good news. The good news is last night, we just got a report this morning, in the history of politics, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, that somebody will find that I'm wrong, maybe, but I don't think so. They raised with small money donors, meaning like $21, $42, $53, $38, a record $39 million in about a 10-hour period.
Wow.
No, think of that. I like those people. Because so far, I guess it's backfiring. Now, I don't know. I'd rather not have it happen. I don't want to have it backfiring. I don't want to win this thing legitimately, not because they were stupid and did things that they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't have brought this case. They were saying it this morning. This is a case that should not have been brought. I watched Andy McCarthy say this is a case that should not have been brought. And that was this morning. But they all say that. Every legal scholar has said it. And these are great people. They really understand the law. The other thing, a poll just came out. The first poll, I don't know, maybe others will be bad. But a poll just came out a little while ago. The Daily Mail. Does anybody read the Daily Mail? It's very good. They have a good poll. At least I like it today. And the Daily Mail just came out with a poll, and it has Trump up 6 points in the last 12 hours. 6 points. 6 points since this happened. Who thought this could happen? Because the people of our country know it's a hoax. They know it's a hoax. They get it. You know, they're really smart, and it's really something. So we're going to be appealing this scam. We're going to be appealing it on many different things. He wouldn't allow us to have witnesses. He wouldn't allow us to talk. He wouldn't allow us to do anything. The judge was a tyrant. And you got to see that with Bob Costello. A fine man. I've never seen anything like it. And neither has anybody that was in that courthouse, where he demanded that the courthouse be cleared. Now, the good news is most of the people in the courthouse were the media. And anybody that was in the media, if you're fair, you'll say, wow. That was anger. That was crazed. He was crazed. And the reason that Bob Costello acted a little bit upset, which I think he has a right to, was that every question he was being asked was being objected to by the other side and sustained by the judge. Sustained. I think he did it many times. I don't know what the number, many times. Even I was sitting there saying, and these were basic questions. And I never saw anybody treated that way by a judge. And I've been treated very badly by 2 other judges also, because it's all the same thing. And it all comes out of the White House. Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. He's the worst president in the history of our country. The most incompetent. He's the dumbest president we've ever had. He's the dumbest president, most incompetent president. And he's the most dishonest president we've ever had.
Joe Biden,
and so many of he's a Manchurian candidate. You take a look at the way he treats China, Russia, so many others. You know, I ended the Russian pipeline. It was dead. He comes in and he approves it. And he gets $3.5 million, meaning $3.5 million is paid to the family, his family, from the mayor of Moscow's wife. And I said, where did that come from? Nobody wants to talk about it. But he's a very big danger to our country. And the only way they think they can win this election is by doing exactly what they're doing right now. Win it in the courts because they can't win it at the ballot box. So we're going to show them that, we're going to fight. It's actually, I don't know, it's something where I'm wired in such a way that a lot of people would have gone away a long time ago. They would have gone away after impeachment hoax #1. That was a total hoax. I had great support from the Republican Party, though. Then you had impeachment hoax #2. And then they formed the committee. How about they formed the committee of thugs, the J6 committee of thugs. And they took their records and they destroyed all of the records after the committee was abandoned because those records were great for us. Now, can you imagine if Republicans did that? Everybody would have been in jail by now. Think of it, the unselect, I call it the unselect, they call it select committee, I call it the unselect committee of thugs. They meet, it's 100% Democrat and 2 past Republicans that are no longer Republicans, that are no longer in business anymore, thank you. But it was all Democrats and 2 wayward Republicans. Liz Cheney and crying Adam Kinzinger. He cries every time he goes on television. He's the most emotional human being I think I've ever seen. And that was our representatives. These 2 people were our rep. So they had all this stuff that they're leaking. And then when it came time to look at the records, like where the police said and the Capitol Guard said that I supplied, think of it, that I recommended as many soldiers or National Guard as you want. 10,000. If you had 500, you wouldn't have had a problem. There wouldn't have been a J6. But Nancy Pelosi and the group didn't want it. Anyway, so they have testimony to all of that, that I did not attack the Secret Service agent in the front of a car. You know, these are strong people. And I supposedly went to the driver, and I grabbed him around the neck. And he rebuffed me. And then I went to the other guy, who I think is a black belt in karate. And he's slightly younger than me. Maybe 35 years, 40 years, 50 years. And I grabbed him around the neck and said, he's a black belt in karate. They know how to get somebody from around their neck. They would have gone like this, and that would be the end of that. Actually, I had a friend that said, you shouldn't dispute that. That makes you look like the toughest cookie we've ever seen. You should have let that go on. But the fact is, it never happened. It was all made up. And that was proven to be made up. It proved to be a false story. And they deleted and destroyed all of that information, every ounce of it. We're dealing with a corrupt government. We have a corrupt country. Our elections are corrupt. Our borders are open. Our borders are going to be closed very soon. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. Now, when I say that, because my people are always saying, do this, because we're fighting for America, DonaldJTrump.com. I hope everybody watching right now, DonaldJTrump.com, because it really makes a difference. They have a lot of money on the other side. I don't know where they get it. Nobody knows where they get it. But for some reason, they get money. But they're not on the side of our country. In many ways, I think they hate our country. Who on earth can want open borders where people are allowed to pour in from countries unknown, from places unknown, from languages that we haven't even heard of? We have people sitting in schools with languages where very few people have ever even heard of these languages. It's not like Spanish or French or Russian. Languages unknown. We have people coming from corners of the globe, and many of them are not good people. Many terrorists, record levels of terrorism, record levels of terrorists have come into our country. Record. They've never seen anything like it. You know, there was a report that in 2019, I don't believe this, by the way, the media gave it, and it was good for me, believe it or not. They said in 2019, there were no terrorists recorded that came into our country. I don't believe that. I don't think that's possible. But 2019 was a Trump year. I don't believe that that could be possible. But they said no terrorists came into our country. So let's say it was close. Let's say it was close. But now record levels of terrorists, record levels, the highest level we've ever seen of terrorists are pouring into our country. You have China with just in the last few months, 29,000 people came in, and I looked at them on a line, and they look like perfect soldiers. They're almost all male, from 19 to 25. It looks like a recruiting exercise. They have beautiful tents. They have propane stoves. They have cell phones, the best you can buy. I said, what's going on? It looks like they're building an army right in our country. Now, I don't think that would happen, right? we're losing our country. And I really think that this is an event, what took place yesterday with this judge. Look, we have conflicted, but he's a crooked judge, and you'll understand that. And I say that knowing that it's very dangerous for me to say that, and I don't mind, because I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to save our country and to save our Constitution. I don't mind. So thank you. So we will continue the fight. We're going to make America great again. Very simple. When people fight MAGA, they say, we're going to fight. I watch Biden. We're going to fight MAGA. We're going to stop MAGA. It's make America great again. That's all it is. MAGA. Make America great again. Our country's in serious trouble. We owe $36 trillion. We were energy independent for the first time ever, and now we're begging Venezuela for oil. One statistic you have to hear. Venezuela was crime-ridden. Caracas, the cities, crime-ridden. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They just reported a 72% drop in crime in the last year because all of their criminals, most of them, and the rest are coming in now, the ones that didn't come in. In Venezuela, their prisons have been emptied into the United States. Their criminals and drug dealers have been taken out of the cities and brought into the United States. And that's true with many other countries. The Congo has just released a lot of people from jail. Congo, Africa, just released a lot of people from their prisons and jails and brought them into the United States of America. This is what's happening to our country, and it's not sustainable by anyone. Little things like our kids can't have a Little League game anymore because you have tents and you have migrants living on the fields. That's the least of it. People are taking over our luxury hotels, migrants, and yet our veterans, our great veterans, are living on the streets like dogs. They're living on the streets. But migrants are living in luxury hotels in cities all over our country, run by Democrats. So it's my honor to be doing this. It really is. It's a very unpleasant thing, to be honest. But it's a great, great honor. We're gonna do what I have to do. I'm going to do it. And the support has been, that's why I mentioned the number of $39 million. That's why I mentioned we're up 6 points. And we went up a lot over the last month because everybody saw it was a rigged deal. It was a rigged trial. But we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it better than ever before. November 5th, remember, November 5th is the most important day in the history of our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, there you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. President Donald Trump. If you were voting for Trump in 2024, comment everywhere right now. Blow the chats up. Trump 2024. Comment in the chats. Real quick, just comments. Here I heard a not a defeated tone by any means, but
a tired
tone,
yes.
for sure. It's heavy what's going on, and the president needs our support more than anything. Comment, blow the chat up. Trump 2024. If you support the president, him and his team both, I mean, he's obviously not watching the show right now. He just spoke, but his team watches. Let them know where you stand, that you stand with the president. But a resounding tone nonetheless, I heard. And so we got a lot of work to do, ladies and gentlemen. And so
that's a fact.
Thank you for watching our first streamed everywhere show. We did not drop below on all platforms below like 11,000 people watching pretty much the entire almost 3 hours now, which is pretty insane. So we need you to do us a huge favor. We need you to make sure that you hit the like button for us. We need you to make sure you hit the follow or the subscribe button. And please do us two more favors. It doesn't cost you any money. Make sure to leave us a comment in the comment section. We do like to go back and read it, and make sure that you share this far and wide. For those of you who are new to seeing the show, we are starting June 3rd, which is literally this next Monday. We will be coming to you Monday through Thursday live at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Thursday live, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The morning show is going away. The 12 p.m. show is starting, and we are broadcasting everywhere. If you enjoyed this show, we appreciate you being here. But that's it. That's all we got for this episode today. There is hope in all of this stuff, and we're going to pray this thing out like we always do. For those of you who are new, we always pray out the show. But first, Tony, say goodbye.
Thank you for sticking with us, guys. Appreciate it. And hasta Monday.
Todd, say goodbye.
Later, folks.
All right, and let's pray this thing out. Dear Lord, we come to you today at a dark time in our country, moments of uncertainty. We don't really know what's next. And Lord, we come to you kind of lost and kind of seeking of what we're supposed to do. And we're comforted by the fact that we know that ultimately you are king and you are in control. And in the end, we win, and we know that. But Lord, as much as we want to talk about this stuff and pray for our country, which we should, and it's needed, we also know that there are people watching right now who are hurting in different ways. Anxiety, depression, fear, thoughts of suicide, broken marriages, and the list goes on and on. And we know that they are searching for something, Lord, and that something is you. So maybe there's people watching right now across all platforms. There's 11,000 people watching right now. We would be considered one of the biggest churches in America right now. And it would be remiss if we did not take this opportunity. Maybe there's people who don't know you, Lord, that are ready to accept you. Maybe there's people who have accepted you, but they've lost themselves and you along the way. So I invite them to pray this prayer that I pray every single day. Dear Lord, I ask you to forgive me of my sins, both known and unknown. I ask you to make my heart new today, and not just today, but every single day moving forward. Lord, I ask you not just to be the Savior of my life, but the Lord of my life. From this day forward, every step I take, every footprint I make is in the footsteps of you, Lord, in the way that you would have me go. Lord, we thank you for your mercy. We thank you for your grace, and we thank you for your love by sending your only son, Jesus, to die for us on the cross so we have the opportunity to spend eternity with you in heaven. Today, Lord, fear is gone, anxiety's gone, depression's gone, thoughts of suicide gone, marriage is healed, sickness healed. Lord, we believe today that you have made us new. We thank you, we love you, and all God's people said,
Amen.
Amen. All right, that's all we have for this episode. I'm Graham Allen. Stay awake, not woke, trust in God, not the government, and as always, stay free.